Freak on a Leash. I want to thank Paul for the song today. About 2 minutes ago, I didn't have a song to start the show, and Paul's like, what about Korn, Freak on a Leash? And I'm like, right on, man. I haven't heard Korn in a while. Theo Vaughn, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, good to see you gentlemen today.
I got your seat all warmed up and ready to go.
Yeah, this feels pretty warm.
Then you just met Mike Calta.
Mm-hmm. How you doing?
He's like,
very nice to meet you. You've actually Theo was on my show a long time ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But, when you first started comedy with Bert, Bert was like, Theo's coming, and I go, the MTV guy, and he goes, no, he's funny, he's crazy, and you were nuts. You were like somebody who just did bath salts.
Oh, really?
Well,
before bath salts.
Yeah, you were doing it before it was cool, buddy.
I was pioneering different salts.
Absolutely.
That's a great definition of Theo Vaughn, I think.
Look, dude, I'll test out some sodium, brother.
You'll take that, right?
I'll try some things, man. I've been up and down that periodic table, dude, with a pipe.
Yeah.
Mike Calta's from Tampa. Well, no, you're from New York originally, but you're doing your radio in Tampa for now.
I grew up here, and then I do mornings in Tampa.
And you got the radio voice, and now I'm going to fake that I got one today.
I don't really have it.
I'm going to make mine a little deeper to try to stick with you. Jamey Jasta, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on? Sorry I'm late.
It's all right. We're just getting started. What's up, Kenny?
Can I just give props to Mike Calta for coming in?
First of all, it's Calta. Not that it really matters, but I'm just letting you know.
Like Calta.
And you look like
Calta and Jasta.
you look like Darth Vader's younger brother with that jacket. I love it.
No helmet.
Without the helmet.
You don't need it, pal. Look at that head.
Thank you.
I liked when you were called Cowhead, man. I thought it was a great radio name.
Yeah, but you know what?
Tony Burton's shaking his head.
It's your fault, because I used to listen to you go, you think I'm a grown fucking man, you think I like being called Opie? And I went, he's right, I don't like it anymore.
I'm still called Opie, though. That's the problem, because I can't come up with another name. I don't want to use my real one.
Why? But your
Greg
real one's
is just
fine.
a boring fucking name.
So is Mike.
You gotta let Mr. Calta know.
Calta.
These are omnidirectional, Mike. He uses
what happens?
Unidirectional.
So what do I do, like
Yeah, don't fuck around with omnis, man.
I don't know.
Yours you gotta speak right into. Remember? Yeah, you.
So is mine better or worse? Because I find out that most of the stuff we have is better.
Yeah, he's looking at us going, you set up cameras every day? I'm like, well, yeah.
This poor guy's been humping cameras for the last half hour.
This picks up the sound all around the mic.
Right.
Where yours you have to talk into.
Yes.
And you chastise me.
Is that what this is about? Because I'm like, why the fuck are we talking about omnis and unidirectional mics?
So am I doing it right?
Yeah.
All right.
His voice sounds perfect. Unfortunately, now I got to talk deeper for the rest of the show.
See me?
Yeah, I know. He did tweet that, yes.
I was. You've always been nice to me. Opie went like 5 years pretending you didn't know who I was, but you've always been nice to me.
I don't really.
You know?
The best is last time I came here, I talked to Opie for like 10 minutes after the show, and then I saw him go up to Eric and go, I fucking know that guy from somewhere, but I can't figure out. I'm like, that's cool.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Pitbull toddler.
Yes, he does, Kenny.
He plays the bass.
Yes, he does.
He's got a hot wife.
Let me just tell you, I can't afford you. So if this show crashes, if that's what you're trying to do right now, I don't have it in my budget.
Oh, he's got things. Kenny's got things.
I'm just saying, I don't have it. If that's what you're.
Kenny is the most excited to see you on the show today, Mike.
Yeah, he's got a hot chick that works for him.
All right.
Oh, that's what he likes. Yeah.
We could talk about. She did a boxing match and she won.
Who'd she box?
Another chick at the radio station.
Yeah,
yeah, it was pretty good.
Like an uglier chick?
Not as pretty as my chick. Yes.
She's okay.
She wasn't ugly at all. Yeah. She's got a great body. Like, they both work out, but mine
So
is
the pretty one beat up the ugly one.
Yeah, twice.
That's how I see it, because I wasn't there.
Right.
That's not nice. But it's completely acceptable in this new world of ours.
Yeah,
the Trump world. In the Trump world, pretty girls beat up ugly girls, I think.
I didn't see it that way.
Oh, all right.
I just saw it as a genius event, because you know who else fought?
Who?
Your buddy Ryan Hoppy.
No one knows who Ryan Hoppy is on this show.
We're going to give him a call.
No offense to Ryan Hoppy.
He wants to interview you.
You never have to worry about offending Ryan Hoppy.
Isn't he like 7 foot tall?
He's 7 foot tall. He's
a kid.
He's on the spectrum of Asperger's. He's a kid. He's been trying to find his place in radio.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. He's just, I don't know. He's spread himself pretty thin.
He's
got good mentors.
And he's motivated.
Very motivated.
You gonna let Jamey Jasta just stand there tweeting?
No, well, I just had.
We ran out of mics there, Kenny.
I had to kiss his ass for a little bit.
All right. Thank you.
To set him up all nice for the radio show today?
No, he deserves it. He does a good show in Tampa.
Right.
His fans are disappointed there's no Bone TV so they could see him.
What's Bone TV?
That's my cameras that are stationary every day.
Oh, so you don't have to set up cameers?
No.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest, I'm going to have a meeting after the show. This is ridiculous that your cameras aren't set up.
I was stupid to think that, you know...
You need a better agent.
We could actually have, you know, cameras that are always just set up for us. They thought that was maddening to even think about. What's up, Jamey?
I'm late because I ran into Nick Diaz. Outside.
Did you really?
Yeah,
really?
I said, come up to Opie Radio now. But I didn't know how to work it out with security, so I just texted him to say... come up and hang.
I love Nick Diaz.
Yeah, he's great, and so that's why I was just chatting with him outside. So
what do you have to say? Give us some inside scoop.
He's looking for something. We'll
Looking
see.
for a fight?
No, well, we're just chit chatting. I said, come do the podcast afterwards. So hopefully he will. But
right. Does he know who you are?
Yeah, we met before at Prudential Center at Danny from Biohazard and myself. We went to the fights and we met him.
Okay.
And
so why didn't he just come up with you?
Well, because I didn't know how it is with the security, because I didn't want to get held up down there and then have to leave him down there.
Right.
And I'm sure you've had it where people get stuck down there and you're like,
oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw one of the dudes from Pink Floyd arguing with the people at the desk. We were laughing our ass. I forgot which one. I forgot who it was. Shit. Anyway, it was about a year ago. And he's trying to convince the people at the desk I'm in Pink Floyd. And they didn't give a fuck. They still needed to see his ID. It wasn't Waters or Gilmore. It was the other dude.
What's your first name? Pink? Your first name's Pink?
Right. I forgot his name, though, offhand. But whatever. I saw him trying to convince the people to just let him up.
I don't think Nick has a fight or anything, and I'm not sure what he's here for. We didn't get into that. And I was like, I'm like, Opie, come on the radio. And he's like, all right, well, let me know.
Is it true him and his brother weren't allowed at the Madison Square Garden? They had a tough time getting tickets?
I heard that. We got a lot to talk about with Nick. Let's get him up here if he's listening. But
that made me
so.
feel better because I couldn't get a ticket, and I was so fucking pissed off about it.
Well, were you sent the original ticket request thing? Because what happened was
we sent it in like a long time ago.
Everybody was fired right after that. So when I got the original ticket request thing, it was like, look, it's a non-comp show, but here's the form. Let us know how many you need. And if you didn't, even if you did do that, if you didn't do it in time, I don't think, because there was a lot of people that really wanted to go that you would think would be no problem, easy comp tickets that didn't get them.
We were fighting the battle with Dana. He would come in here bitching and whining, and I don't blame him, about New York being the last state that didn't have UFC. So we were fighting the good fight for him.
Well, there's a good World Series of Fighting card New Year's Eve if you want to go.
Oh, go fuck yourself. I'm kind of done. I'm really mad. But then when I found out the Diaz brothers didn't get in either, it made it a little easier.
Oh, there was a lot of fighting.
It's in my backyard. It's 2 miles from here. I've never asked for tickets in my life.
Yeah.
I've gone to a few shows because Dana's done right by us. Well, but this was the only one I asked for.
Do you believe in the true no comp thing, like with Beyonce and JT and Katy Perry? Because I did the ticket buy for JT for my daughter like years ago, like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it for Katy Perry. I tried, and then Eddie Trunk hit me up and was like, I got him for free for my daughter. So he somehow got the tickets for free. So it's not always, depends who's running the ticket buy or whatever. It's not always a no comp show, but
that's usually
there's always tickets to be had. There's always
Beyonce and Jay-Z. Like
I understand. I understand it was a hot ticket because it's the first time UFC was at Madison Square Garden, but. Fuck, man, I wanted to go see that shit.
Yeah, but
Tony's making everyone fucking, feel uncomfortable with his tie. Tony Burton is in the studio.
Good, Tony, you look good.
I'll take my jacket off.
Who's Mike Calta's agent? And he's just sitting there in a tie all tight. You don't even loosen your tie.
Listen, I'm dressed as the part. What do you want? I'm an agent.
Theo, what do you think of this Tony Burton?
He seemed like, I don't know. He seemed like
So you're not his lawyer? Because I was like, I have so many questions for you, Mike.
Oh, I got a bunch of answers. Jamey.
You felt like he was ready to jump in and like, Mike, you can't answer that question. Boy, that's a hell of a way to do a radio show.
Just reading my Twitter, I was like, well, how did I get involved in this?
Yeah. And get involved with what?
And so And I just randomly check it like I normally do. Right. I just randomly check it like I normally do before I come on the show because so many of your listeners are new Hatebreed fans, and I've met so many of your fans and so many of your listeners at my meet and greets and stuff, and you've given us such a great opportunity. So I'm always interested to see when new people come on board because we don't get a lot of big radio shows like this where someone like Opie who'll play a song and so I'm like, this is great. I get to come back on the show. It's the new show. Yeah. Let me see what the fans are saying. Yeah. And then I'm involved with all this drama with Mike, and it's probably not even a lot. It's probably just like 2 or 3 trolls.
Yeah, I think
it's very much the case.
Okay.
So it could be a lot of
I think they left me out of it. Let me look.
Okay.
I'm out.
All right.
Oh, Nick Mason. Thank you. It was Nick. That was driving me nuts. Nick Mason from Pink Floyd.
Right.
Thank you to, sorry, we'll go back to you in a second. Eddie G with a lot of E's. Thank you, Eddie. You're a good one on Twitter. Yeah, it was Nick Mason was at the front desk. The name was driving me nuts. I couldn't remember for a second.
He's not a known Pink Floyd. Sorry, Nick.
And he was using his hands and stuff, and it's obvious he's so famous he doesn't have an ID, I guess. He's used to just saying, I'm from Pink Floyd, let me upstairs.
Go right in.
And they just wouldn't do it. And then we finally, it was taking so long, we finally left the lobby. Obviously he got up here eventually, but it took way too long, and I never saw him actually leave the front desk. But back to the drama. What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. So, and this is just a random thing.
And is Tony going to jump in and go, whoa, slow down, boys?
I thought you were the lawyer to be like, we can't talk about this.
I get 60 minutes when they say, can't say that.
So, were you there? You were at the station when I did interviews, like with Shannon and Bubba
Yes, I think I was on. I did afternoons where they did mornings. Yeah.
Okay.
Or he did mornings. Yeah.
Okay. So right after one of my last appearances on Bubba, I went to check the Hatebreed Twitter, and he blocked Hatebreed. And I was like, "What? Why would he block?"
Bubba did?
Yeah.
He's kind of a cunt.
Well, but then I did his show again, and so, but it was through Spice, and but then they had a falling out, right? So I was like, oh, maybe because he had a falling out with Spice and Spice was being into Hatebreed, maybe he blocked Hatebreed. I don't know. I can't keep up with the drama, and I like Bubba. I never had any problem with him.
Yeah.
But then I saw he liked the tweets that are like your anti-tweets.
He and I aren't best friends.
Okay, so you guys are sworn enemies.
Have we ever been?
Yeah.
No. We worked together.
And that was
he's
about
always
it?
been a cunt, yeah.
Okay. That happens in radio, right?
Bubba's the guy's name?
Yeah.
Exactly.
For an adult, I could.
All right, so then some of these things are federal lawsuits.
I got a shitty name.
No, I mean you have a younger person's name. I feel like.
I got it when I was 11 years old, 12 years old. So
your name made you rich.
My name made me. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
So, all right, but you're all right, Jamey, with the drama?
Well, no, I just saw this thing. Courts, you say, federal lawsuit, bitch, and all this stuff, and I'm like, wait, what is this federal lawsuit? And then
what did you do?
Then there's court documents on my Twitter. Confidential, attorney's eyes only, and then I'm like, who are these people?
Why are they hitting you up with that shit?
I guess because you're copied on some of these too.
I don't see it. My Twitter is clean.
Confessed cheater and cuck. I'm like,
that would be him. He's the cuck. Let's not confuse those things.
What is it about?
Something with Hulk Hogan. Now, I thought this was over and done with. I thought like it was a sex tape, and then Hulk Hogan sued the people that leaked it, and then he got all this money, and so
yeah. Did you guys?
It's a compelling story.
With the sex tape?
No, and there's a lawsuit now trying to allege that the company that I work for and some employees and me all had something to do with it. And there's nothing there, and unfortunately, I can't really talk about it. There's nothing more to say. It's not even an exciting story. This is like the afterbirth of the other lawsuit. So, so those same 7 bored trolls that are hitting you up are the same guys that just keep, and they're all act like all of a sudden everybody on Twitter became a fucking lawyer, like they know what these legal documents mean. They're like, oh, it says it right here, and they have no idea. So there's just a bunch of same jerk offs passing the information back and forth.
Sorry if this is a bum out. I don't know if you guys were going to address this.
Okay,
all right, because I didn't know what you were here to promote or what you're doing in town, and I thought maybe you got a settlement. I don't know.
I was just going to leave it alone. Look at Tony's face.
They accused you guys of leaking the tape.
No, there's a.
He had a sex tape a while back. Is that the tape they're talking about?
Yeah, there's somebody that, according to the FBI documents, that worked at the station that might be associated with it. So as a lump, they sued everybody, and they're trying to follow the trail and see what's going on. There's really nothing there, but. They cast a big net, and that stuff is on hold right now. There's nothing really happening, and
how's the tape?
I have never seen the tape.
Have you seen the tape?
Never seen the tape.
So does Iron Sheik right? Does Hulk have the raisin dick? It's always on his Twitter. Hulk, like, is Iron Sheik right or wrong? Tweet me.
I would imagine Bubba could tell you all about his dick.
Let's call the Sheik right now and get him on the show.
Did you hear about the tape before there was a tape? Because that seemed like something, especially in like South Florida, that would be like, oh, I heard there's this tape.
There are a lot of rumors about a lot of tapes that were probably going around. Yeah. So
because that's where you go to make good tapes. I feel like good sex
in Florida.
Tapes. Florida.
I mean,
it's where you go to do
Tampa?
anything
Tampa's
deviant and sexual.
Tampa's a good town for that, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever come down there?
Tampa?
Yeah, we're in that area.
I was long time ago. I went to Tampa.
Ybor City.
Long fucking time.
Ybor City.
That place is awkward, bro. It's like gentrified. It's like gentrified, but it's like thuggish,
it's like
but gay.
Bourbon Street with AIDS.
I was like thuggish, but gay. Like there was a
homo thug.
A dude was like, "Give me all your money and let me suck your dick for a little bit."
I got a sister in Orlando.
Oh, really?
And before I had any money, my vacations were always to go see my sister in Orlando.
Right.
And it sort of got a little boring, no offense to my sister. And so I visited a girl I did radio with in Buffalo, who was doing mornings in Tampa, but this is a million years ago.
Oh, who is she?
Chris Shire.
Did she have a cool radio name?
No, I'm trying to remember what she went by. I think she used her real name. So I was in Tampa for like a minute.
Is that where you adopted Eric in Orlando on your multiple visits?
Well, I met Eric pretty much at a truck stop. If you need to know, a Cracker Barrel on the way to where was I going that time? Miami, I think. Right? No, I was going to the NHL All-Star game. I was hooking up with some people down there, and me and Eric were in touch. He had tapes of the show, and I met him at a truck stop that had a Cracker Barrel.
Wow.
That is the truth.
That's for real?
Yeah, and
that's true.
And
there he is. Chime in. Let's hear it.
Blackmailed myself.
Oh, is that mic not on? Oh wait, I don't have headphones on.
And that's how we met. So many years ago. That's got to be that's got to be like 15 years ago almost.
That's when he remembers meeting me. Before we've met a few times before that, but we just go with the truck stop thing.
So you're a super fan turned producer?
Yeah, well, I was working in radio too. I worked up here in New York City. I was working down in West Palm in Orlando, and I just wanted to get back to New York.
He's a Doogie Howser type guy. He started real young in radio.
Are you as big of a fan of Opie now?
Turn off your mic, Eric.
That's okay, Glenn.
Turn off your mic.
Do you remember the first time?
I used to be on his hero list. I'm no longer on his hero list. Let's just put it that way.
That's fair.
But we're working on things, right, Eric? Righty. Thumbs up, see?
You remember the first time I called into the show when I was live? I worked for CBS, and I was about to get fired. So
I remember that.
It was when you guys were just on XM.
Right.
I worked for CBS doing mornings in Tampa, and I knew that they were flipping it to a Spanish station, and they kept lying to me, and I knew we had 5 solid days left to go out. Nobody ever gets to know when they're going to get fired.
Right.
So I called them. I made my producer call them and wait on hold till he got through, and then when he went in, I picked you guys up live, and we talked for 45 minutes.
I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, that was good shit because I had a lot of your listeners,
right?
Get turned on to us.
Yeah,
and was a lot of this Cali guy. He's not so bad for terrestrial, and then they stuck with it over the years. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, we went after everybody that was doing terrestrial for the most part.
Yeah, you did.
But you've made it work.
Yeah. It was me. I was on the short list of people you liked. It was me, Brother Weeze, BJ Shea, and everybody else could suck a dick.
Could go fuck themselves. Yeah. Tony, why are you so quiet?
Listen, I'm just here to...
Were you in a panic when they were talking about that stuff?
No, I've got nothing to contribute. I'm sitting here listening, enjoying the show.
Well, you have headphones on and you got a microphone in front of you, so we're going to ask you questions.
Go ahead.
Friend.
Yeah,
you want a cricket?
No. The answer is still no.
Theo, you want a cricket?
How are they?
You want to try one?
Well, I want to get a sponsorship from the Cricket Bar Company. You know, they blend them up into the protein bar.
It would taste better in a bar.
Because
that's a Joe Rogan snack.
Is it? Like. Yeah. Right.
If
they're out there listening, call me up. I'll take one for the team.
It was from my Mexican babysitter. She eats these by the pound.
Oh, wow.
You want to try one?
They're
Theo?
like high in protein.
Rogan
right?
eats some exotic stuff. I've seen like on his Twitter and on his Snapchat. He's always grilling up some wild things and like animals that we don't eat regular.
This one's kind of boring. I mean,
it's like spicy.
It's the texture. You're eating a cricket that kind of gets to you.
Are they healthy? Is that why people eat them?
Yeah, they're crickets, bro.
It's like a mini lobster that walks on land.
She loves it. She eats them by the pound.
Man.
Isn't it weird, the texture? Because you're eating a cricket?
Theo said, yeah,
it's
man.
sort of like...
now you wash it down with coffee?
It tastes a little crickety at the end.
Yeah.
Like grassy? What do they eat?
Try one, man.
No, I don't want to try one. These things shit, and you don't know if they shit or not.
Everything's shit.
I know, but you're not eating the asshole of everything.
That's true.
You're eating the whole asshole.
Those are homemade, by the way.
The only asshole I eat is the crawfish asshole.
They're homemade. She got them from a field up there in the Bronx.
I used to eat them when I was a kid. Growing up, we'd get them at recess and bring them in.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a grasshopper or a cricket?
It's a cricket.
It's a snack.
Yeah, see, these I lived in the city my whole life, so the first time I went out to my grandmother's, I was like, what the fuck is that? What is that at night? She's like, what's wrong with you? It's like, I'm used to hearing sirens and like domestic violence next door, not this noise, so I don't want to eat that. That makes the noise right there, that little leg.
Just try one, Jamey.
They're violinists, dude. They're Mother Nature's violinists.
What about your reputation?
I
Dude
mean,
from Hate Breed can't handle a fucking cricket?
That's a great call.
Thank you,
What is this dude on soy milk? This dude brought in a bag of freaking York mint patties.
Wash it down with that.
Wonder why metal's just really struggling as a business.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but you just know you're eating. When you start chomping into the legs and stuff, I think it's like a lime. I think she said it was like a lime sauce.
Manson would eat them.
I've eaten way worse. I've eaten snake. I've eaten bear. But I mean,
does she know they make sunflower?
Tony wants one. Go ahead.
Get in there, man.
I saw Mike angling for it.
No, fuck.
The little pop. What's the little pop? That's the asshole.
I think it's probably the skull, man.
Tony's representing Switzerland over here, aren't you, dude? You definitely seem pretty white.
I'm a little white. Yes, I've been told that.
Yeah.
I
But
get
that's good,
tan
though.
from fluorescent lights.
When you get crawfish, do you suck the face?
Yeah, I'll do it sometimes.
Yeah.
It just depends on kind of who's making them and if they're overnight, if they've been sitting out for a day or something, then I won't. But the first day, I'll
I
get in
hate
there.
crawfish.
Come on.
Don't like.
Why?
I don't know. Never liked them.
But this guy also, like yesterday, his teeth were flaring up. He got a dental. Somebody brushed his teeth for him, and he couldn't even open his mouth. He had to have Eric hold his mouth open while he talked.
Is that what happened? Is that what happened?
No, Opie's going through this phase. I'm noticing where there's a lot of
ailments.
A lot of ailments.
Oh God, you can talk to the rest of the guys that have been in the studio with me.
I can't even
I've had ailments
imagine.
my entire career. They're all stress related. I learned.
Fragile.
No, I got my teeth clean, and it was way too. I was way past due, so they really had to get in there, and it was the vibrations caused a headache. That's all it was. I felt a little nauseous.
Look, man.
And I think the nauseousness came from some of the pieces that they dislodged. And I
swallowed it.
And no, I smelled it. Like, what the fuck? Dude?
How long was it?
Dude, don't tell your forefathers
How
that
long
story.
was it?
It was only 9 months. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
I had another rich guy problem. 9 months.
It wasn't. What?
You made it like you hadn't gone in like 4 years.
Oh, that's
I
the
missed
old
my
me.
6-month cleaning.
No, that was the old me, man.
Yeah.
We went years without going to the dentist. My whole mouth was on fire with cavities.
Same here.
Really?
Yeah, I think anybody who's Irish, we just don't give a fuck.
And we would eat candy.
Yeah.
Do you have a bunch of siblings?
Yeah, I have an older sister and a younger brother, but my father's
Oh, that's
one of
nothing.
9.
Yeah, I'm one of 7, so we weren't going to the dentist. That was one bill. They're like, we could save money here. Yeah, until when they finally had to do something, and we're marching in there getting 6 to 8 cavities one fucking shot or a couple shots.
You get the silver or the white fillings?
Oh, I talked about this yesterday,
Oh, you
right,
did?
Theo?
Shit.
Yeah, the silver's
The one
bad.
thing-
I didn't get to listen yesterday.
The one thing when I got money, I got rid of that silver because I ran into a dentist. He goes, all that silver in your mouth, we could take care of that pronto. And I guess they melt it right out and then fill it up with the white.
Yeah, I did one
So
side.
I did that.
He said, "Oh yeah, you don't want to you can't expedite the pain. You're going to do it one shot or whatever." I'm like, "No, I don't have time. Just do one side, but I got to go back for the other side."
Oh, fuck no, man. When you go to the dentist, get it all done.
I can't. You know what it's like to scream your head off for an hour and a half on stage after you've done dental work?
It's sort of like
it's horrible.
It's sort of like flying when you could get to your destination with one fucking flight.
No, I like the layover. You get off, you take a shit, you go to the southern spot, you get the mac and cheese.
Oh, God, nothing worse than 2 flights to get to your destination.
Nothing worse than some dude flying to Atlanta just to shit.
I get the black eyed peas. I get out. I get the cornbread. I love it. I say, put me through Atlanta. Christ. I like the miles too. I get the extra miles.
You go to Atlanta just for cornbread?
I'll go to Minneapolis. They said, "Oh, you want to direct to LA or you want to stop in Minneapolis?" I said, "Put me through Minneapolis." I get out. I go to the Mall of America. I'll ride the fucking ride.
But how many hours is your layover?
Oh, I had like a 3-hour layover. I loved it.
You were able to get to the mall?
Yeah, I went back to the. Yes, I went into the Mall of America and got back. And this was a
how
trip.
How close is the airport?
Not. It's close. The Mall of America. It's right there. You can see the planes going over.
All right, that makes sense then. Because we're New Yorkers. Yeah, we can't imagine leaving an airport ever. No, if you have a layover, you think about it, but you're like, there's no way. There's no guarantee I'm getting back here.
Oh, LAX, I do it all the time. Like, if I got to go to Philippines or Japan or Australia, I get out, I go to In-N-Out Burger, get back in. You got to have pre-check or global entry so you don't have to fuck around, and you never bring, like, a lot of bags. Only have, like, a fanny pack or, like, a small backpack or a laptop.
To go to the Philippines?
Well, no, you put everything else checked. Like, actually, you know what? I just went to Mexico City.
What the hell are you doing to the Philippines? It brings a ball bag.
No, you just buy clothes when you get there. Like, I went to Mexico City. I just bought a bathing suit and then I just throw it out.
See, that's
because the bathing suit was
rich.
No,
that's rich right there.
No. Yeah, well, no. But listen,
wow,
no.
That sounded like you kind of
were. He asked questions about you, Mike. You might as well get back.
Like, are you on the outs or?
No.
I just really want to know about you fucking girls in the Philippines.
No. None of that went down.
Or lady boys.
But no, when I got to the Philippines, we were on the cover of like their version of the USA Today, and so it was
nice.
you couldn't go anywhere. It was and there was at a time where Obama was just there or getting there, so they had dogs searching everything, mirrors, going underneath the cars searching for bombs. It was crazy. There was
you mean like in a good way? You couldn't, like Beatles couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
But so what do you do? Do you just leave your door open and go, "Come on in"?
It's no, because they will.
I mean, don't you wish? I don't know. Every guy that's not a rock star, I think, wishes for that.
Yeah.
I wish the guy would fuck fat girls, ugly girls. I would in every country.
I know. It's
if I had that Beatlesque girls chasing me for anything, I would take advantage of that as long as I could.
There were other bands on the bill on the festival that we played that definitely fucked, like the girls that were working the counter, the maids, the pool girl, the girl that was making the fucking smoothies.
Who's the dirtiest band?
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, this was going back to like probably 2009. What was the British band? Maybe it was Asking Alexandria. They were partying at the time.
Yeah.
Like Mexico City, we did it one year with all the glam bands, and these dudes were now in their 50s, and they're still partying.
Oh, fuck yeah, they are.
But we didn't. I'm in that hardcore punk kind of metal world where we didn't have the videos on the MTV in the 80s and stuff where. Now they see them on VH1 and they're like, we missed out being on a groupies trip, so now we're going to do it.
Oh, wow. So
there's that.
They're catching up.
Yeah, there's moms that bring daughters.
Have you had a mom-daughter threesome?
I've seen that go down in El Paso.
Wait, the moms are bringing the daughters to be part of the whole
they party
world?
Yeah, they partying to go crazy. You know how I saw that?
Fuck.
I have another band, Kingdom of Sorrow. We did 5 shows with Motley Crue. And Kenny,
that's where it's at.
From Typo Negative, he had done shows with Motley Crue with Typo Negative, but it was in the Karabi years. Remember when John Karabi?
Sure.
So it was like scaled down arenas and smaller theaters, but they still, it still had Nikki Sixx, still had Tommy Lee. So
Nikki said in the beginning of the tour they would decide what would be the goal. One year it was who could fuck the fattest chick, who could fuck the oldest chick, and Nikki would win every year.
Wow.
Well, the first show, I think it was Chicago. It was
a boy
Ozzy.
Could dream.
It was. I think I probably even told this story on your show already, but it was Ozzy and Motley Crue, and literally we got off the bus, and by the fence, Kenny goes, "See, look," and there was girls waiting by the fence. These were beautiful girls that were like, "I will do anything to meet Nikki Sixx," and I think so. We made one girl piss on the guy from Toxic Holocaust, and So he's in the shower. We had a shower on the bus.
Right.
So he's in the shower. Actually, we made 2 girls piss on Phil. So I'm sorry, Phil.
Did Phil want that?
They can't blink. No, he didn't want it.
Okay.
That's
And
Phil.
Kenny was like, "You're a piece of shit." Shout out to Kenny. Kenny's like the greatest. You got to get Kenny on the show. He's got stories. I don't know if he can tell all the stories, but so then we gave him the passes, and I guess there was issue with the passes. So I don't even think they got to meet Nikki Sixx. They had to piss on this guy's face and still didn't get to meet Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, but they got to piss on some guy.
Right.
Yeah, they got a good story.
No,
out
they
of it.
did not want to do it. There was another guy on that tour, I can't say who, but he liked to drink piss. And one
Scott Stapp.
Probably Ozzy. Probably Ozzy.
No, it wasn't.
Nothing washes down a bad head.
No, it wasn't Stapp. Actually, Stapp's around. He's like normal again. Can we get him on the show?
I've had him on.
No?
I've had him on. He's awesome.
He's normal like that guy in that Dangerous Mind movie where everybody thinks he's normal when you go out to the shed and he's got all the fucking wires around.
I could smell that shit. I see it in his eyes.
He's still going to save the president.
I could smell that. I smell that shit.
Can't stop crazy.
He was relatively normal on our show though. Told some crazy stories about hiding behind trees and
Really?
He's awesome.
So
I absolutely love him now.
Well, this
I know him
He's
for a long
great.
time.
He's great radio.
I've been trying to get him on my podcast since I started the podcast. I had Tremonti on, and he doesn't. He doesn't want to talk about Scott. He wants to talk about his band, Alter Bridge, and the Tremonti record. And I don't blame him. He must be tired of asking.
Dude, Alter Bridge has a hell of a fan base. I noticed.
They're killing it
On
and
Twitter. It's crazy the support they get from their fans.
Oh, they have like a Twitter account for every country.
I saw that.
It's like Alter Bridge, Kazakhstan,
Spain, whatever the fuck.
You could totally get bitches to pee on their face for all the bridge tickets.
Oh yeah, so the other guy who was drinking the pee, he said these 2 girls came on the bus and he said, sorry, I was talking, the mic was crazy, right? Now you fixed it. It sounds good now.
What?
Yeah, the mic was because I'm like yelling into the mic. Listeners are probably
you're just babbling away. That's all I know.
So who's drinking?
He's just babbling away.
So they after a bunch of
piss drinking.
Yeah, he said, "Did you guys eat lunch together? You had celery soup?" And the girls looked at each other like, "How did he know?"
Wow.
Yeah,
that's an expert.
Yeah,
So he was like a piss mist.
yeah. He was going like he's like a piss whisperer.
They had I knew a guy who would read people's ribs. He would read. He was a rib reader.
What does that mean?
Just kind of
Feel them?
Yeah, he'd feel your ribs. It's just like giving you a palm reading, I guess. But maybe if you didn't have a palm, and then he would read your ribs, he could like tell your future and your past and stuff.
So you need your gallbladder removed.
He's trying to feel you up is what he wanted to do.
No kidding, man.
He didn't seem like that kind of guy.
Oh no.
He seemed organized.
Tell you
Did
what.
you have your ribs read?
I'm sure, yeah, I remember him.
I can't find anything like this on the internet.
What, rib reading?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Well, rib reading. Now, those type of ribs.
No,
we can all
not
understand.
edible ribs.
Okay.
He was only reading live ribs.
Look under molestation.
Nah, this dude wasn't
Some
a
nice
molester.
side tattoos on some nice ladies, but that's about it. No rib reading.
Yeah. Well, I mean, maybe it didn't take off.
It's not a thing.
So, Mike, you're
It's definitely a thing.
are you from Staten Island too?
I am. I grew up in Staten Island.
Do you like Staten Island, or do you trash it like most people?
I don't know. I mean, I don't like it. I left at the right time, I think.
But most people, they leave Staten Island, then they end up trashing it.
You mean Pete Davidson?
Wow. he's one name that comes to mind. There's been a few over the years, though.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the
It seems like it's a pretty cool place.
No, I mean, I don't
really
know.
isn't?
I was a really poor kid, so I grew up in the shits of Staten Island.
Oh, it's a very mysterious place in the New York area.
Yeah?
A lot of people don't know much about Staten Island.
Yeah, it's a real island, right?
Well, because
It's
you
an
don't you don't go there. I mean, if you live somewhere else, you just drive through it, and most people don't, stop and do anything.
Right, there's no destination
It's really strange.
spot on Staten Island. There's no reason to go there,
right?
Unless you're visiting somebody. And I was explaining to Tony before the show. It's got like 4 bridges for a place that nobody goes to. It has the most access of any place in the tri-state area.
Because I don't think they want people stopping. Probably.
No, you know what it is? The home of it's the largest garbage dump in the world. Is what Staten Island is, and it's only like 16 miles long. And yet, half of it's a garbage dump.
Is it?
Does
it smell?
Fresh kill is the worst. And then sometime, like in the 90s, they sprayed it with this cherry shit, so they thought that would mask it. And I lived like 3 blocks away, but it's right by the mall too. So if you open the window at night, you smell this cherry garbage shit blowing in. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I get it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing worse than the smell of a dump, because that was another bill my parents were trying to save. So we started taking our own fucking garbage to the dump.
Yeah.
And my dad thought it would be a cool little thing to bring us, the little kids. We weren't even teenagers. So it was like 12, 11, 10. He's like, oh, they would love to run around the dump as we dump our garbage. The smell is just, you can't even describe that to anybody else.
It's good to bury bodies. That's why the mob used to always go to Staten Island to bury bodies, because nobody wants to dig through that shit.
Oh, did your dad not pay taxes? I mean, why were you throwing out your own garbage?
I've told that story too, Tony Burton, who you say you're a fan and you listen to this show, but you don't know shit about anything.
Oh, I miss one day and suddenly I'm a bad listener. How dare you? How dare you?
My dad set up his own church so we didn't have to pay taxes. Beat that one.
I know that story.
Beat that one.
All right. They always had the guy who would do like the freelance garbage pickup. You know that dude? He like had his own. He would go like on the rural routes, pick it up himself, man. We used to live right next door to that dude, bro.
I had that dude one time. I was too lazy to take my shit to the dumpster, and they had some guy that come around on a bike and just you leave it outside your door, and he would bring it to the dumpster $5 a week. Yeah. That was the best money you ever spent. That's when you start to feel rich.
Yeah.
You can pay a guy to carry your garbage.
Then we started burning we burned our own garbage in a wood-burning stove.
I like
but the smell of plastic, I don't think that's
great for the environment.
I don't think that did me even well.
Put the kids to bed early.
I think it gave me a little brain damage.
Did they weigh the car when you took it?
Huh?
Did they weigh it? Like, I used to go to the dump with my father, and they would weigh the car.
I was a little kid. I don't remember. He's like, all right, kids, go run around a little while. We're looking at each other like, what the fuck?
I felt like my father was a bad parent for never taking me to the dump.
Or the scrapyard.
The scrapyard, we never did
metal.
shit together.
The church scam was the best, though, because he didn't pay taxes for a while, and it's way long ago, so I feel okay with this.
We had pre-Scientology?
Exactly. Oh yeah, we had it was some kind of weird loophole that the entrepreneurs. My dad was an entrepreneur, so he was always coming up with schemes and things to do. And we used to have to bring a tax exempt form when we were buying our shit. And if we came home and we just had to say, yeah, we showed him the tax exempt, because supposedly if you go, look, I'm a child of the Lord, they can't charge us taxes. There was some weird fucking loophole.
But there's a lot of garbage. I mean, garbage is an exotic world, really, when you think about it. There's a lot going on. Garbage.
Oh, and yeah. Okay.
It's no wonder you're so fucking angry now. Now I get it. All this shit you got to do when you were a kid.
It's so susceptible.
Throw your own garbage.
I'm not as angry, believe it or not.
Maybe not now.
I still got the reputation for being the angry guy, but I'm all right. I'm all right.
And you're so susceptible now, maybe, to different things. Maybe it's going to that dump.
Probably.
I
think it was smelling the plastic burning in my house.
Are you going to a therapist?
Off and on. I'm good right now for a little bit.
Like, how do you know you're good? Like, you decided?
That's that dump talking. That's that dump talking right
like,
there.
who are you to talk? You say you don't even need one. You're like, I'm good. I don't need one.
I didn't think I needed one for the longest time, and then when I finally went, I'm like, fuck, man, this is all right.
What was your big problem?
Yeah.
Just anger. And
like at who though? Do they
my mom?
Oh, your mom.
Another guy that doesn't listen to the fucking show.
Listen, it's not always the obvious thing.
No, I'm good. Yeah, a lot of anger issues over the years, frustration.
I think
you say you're good. Like they were like you're
irritable depression.
Yeah.
You get frustrated, and irritable because no, I'm good now.
All right.
I do some edibles.
You still have an angry face. You still
the Irish are always a little keyed up. Huh?
Yeah. It's the ginger. If you got any ginger in you whatsoever, you got anger shit going on.
And then 1 of 7 kids. Plus, they were always bringing in other kids that needed a home to live. So, we got lost in the mix. So maybe it's part of not being heard. That's why I do this for a living, maybe.
Are you like a big fuck you now to all 6 of the kids because you're the one?
Nah, we're all good. Well, most of us are good. There's always 1 or 2 that you're not.
Now, what about as ginger people, how did you guys feel when they quit accepting red-haired semen donors, a few years back?
I was bummed, but when they did that, then
Wait, you were really bummed?
Yeah, because they were paying good for
it was a high money.
Yeah,
that was high money seed right there. If you had red hair,
but if your shit is clean, $40 a day.
Yeah,
drop a dump right in the morning, and they'll pay you $40 a day.
Masturbation?
No. Once they stop with the ginger, your ginger shit is still okay. Ginger sperm they don't want.
Who's buying your shit?
Biodome. Or it's bio.
Wait.
You haven't heard about this? Fecal transplanting is huge.
Wait, they're paying for our shit
I didn't know this.
Yeah, there's probably one right in the city right now. If you were healthy enough.
$40 a dump?
Yeah, so think about that. For every day, 5 days a week, how much money is that per month? $40 a day.
And what are they doing with the dump?
It's actually, fecal transplanting is curing all sorts of issues like irritable bowel syndrome. I think it helps people with Crohn's. They shoot it in there. They just had this on Vice.
People shooting shit up.
They shoot
Theo's done that.
Shit. I don't know what's wrong with this mic. Am I?
No, it's just your headphones.
I got too many mics on, so I might have to tell Tony to go beat it.
I'm not even talking. By the way, the answer was $280 a week, by the way.
Okay, thank you. As an audiophile, Opie, I've been really concerned with the quality on the
No, you're
show.
good. You're all right.
But no,
it sounds all right, Eric?
It's a little crispy, a little hot.
It's better now than it was. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm half deaf too, so it sounds great to me.
Look it up if anybody's out there has healthy shit and wants to get it.
Dude, I got some good
supplemental.
Are you doing it?
No. My shit's a mess right now. It's too acidic. Like I would
think the messy shit is what they want. Though.
No,
they don't want a solid log, do they?
Yeah, because they break it up anyways with the saline. They break it up with the saline. Like a solution, and then like some people were seeing results like 3 days in, right? Like the girl on the Vice show, she saw results like 3 days.
What was her
later.
problem?
I think she had some sort of intestinal issue that she was just having like violent diarrhea from.
I feel like you're confused. I feel like you watch a different show.
No,
something else.
No, I'm telling you.
What's wrong with your shit?
That Vice could confuse you.
So ginger
shit's okay.
What's wrong? Why is your shit so messy right now?
I've been drinking like 8 cups of coffee in the morning. So it starts out all right, and then
that's not bad. That'll loosen stuff up nice.
What's your limit on coffee?
He's a radio guy.
So you go a pot a day?
I would bet at least 2 pots a day for Mike Calta.
I'm an iced coffee guy, so I'll get one in the morning on the way to work, Trenta, and then I'll maybe, if I'm having a slow day, one more at about 9 o'clock. And then I try to cool off because fat guys get heartburn when they go to bed, too much coffee.
Really?
Yeah. Get the fucking agita.
How long do like DJs live, like radio guys? Is there like a time thing?
We're not
like 40.
We're not like dwarves.
We're like football players, like you get the restaurant that fails. And
if you make it past 40, you're going to be all right if you make it past 40.
Okay.
I know a lot of radio guys that died young.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It just popped into my head.
But the drugs will do that to you. I didn't get any of the... I was out really when the cocaine stopped getting delivered to the radio station.
Yeah.
Music radio guys die young because they all did coke from their 20s on.
Wow.
Yeah, so their heart just explodes.
I never got that.
Right before they turn 40.
I just got free meals, which is probably going to have the same effect eventually.
Giving away vacations to their buddies.
Are you on the air?
Yeah, I do mornings in Tampa.
Oh, great.
He's off for a week, so he decides to do radio. That's crazy.
You ever have any metal guys on?
Yeah, I would love for it.
We had the best show of the tour. Was at State Theater. Sold out on a Monday night. Thank you, everybody. If anybody's listening from St. Pete, that place rules. We had a great time. It was literally, I'm not kidding you, it was the best show of the tour.
Yeah, that's always a good spot.
I always blew off guys like, from bands like the one, like Hatebreed. And then I realized you guys are all great talkers.
Well, you'll shut down a guest that's like huge, like Taffer. Taffer comes in, he's like, "Oh, bring John Taffer," and they're like, "Oh, you're like, how come we didn't book John Taffer?" Well, we did. You said pass. Like, that makes me happy. And I'm like, wow, that's John great. Taffer. I'm like, Opie booked me instead of Taffer. I'm like,
because you're a good talker. They don't understand that down the hall. They're like, we need A-listers. Fuck the A-listers. I bring in my friend the Mad Cuban. He's better than any A-lister on the mic.
I know there's sometimes I don't want to say like the actory type people you'll get on and they don't want to say anything personal. It's like, well, what
they don't want to give up anything.
They can't.
I know.
They're afraid.
I'll come on here and talk about guys getting pissed, drinking piss, and they'll probably. The guy already texted me, "Hey, don't fucking say my name." Craig Gassel already texted me too, and he said, "Fuck yeah, bro, Mall of America. I do the same thing."
Craig Gass does that?
Yeah,
he also drinks piss. Craig Gass. I know that for a fact.
Actually,
piss drinker.
Craig seems like a dude that's hiding a lot, bro.
Craig.
How deviant does he seem, bro?
Can I call Dr. Steve about the poop thing?
Yeah, call Doctor. I got a question for Dr. Steve too.
I want to understand. You have any medical issues there, Mike?
No, I'm pretty good. I mean,
nothing growing on your body you want to know about or anything?
No. If he wants to give me a test or anything, I'll take it. But I'm pretty
Fingers
good.
in the hiney. He used to come
I've
up.
had it done.
He used to come up and do that for us.
He did to you?
I gotta ask him about
homeless guys. I mean, if you're gonna do the bit, you gotta do the bit, right?
Yeah.
The hair on the ears. Like, why now am I getting hair on my ear?
It's the worst.
What is
it's the worst thing about getting old.
Why do you need it?
And if you don't have a good friend to tell you, you don't see it. My poor father-in-law, he's my father-in-law, so I don't feel like. But I go to my brother-in-law's. I'm like, how the fuck do you not tell him? Yeah. He's got a bush growing out of his ear.
You can't tell him.
But you can. You can. Like I would tell my father. I'd be like,
they'll get offended. We told our stepdad they moved to Arizona.
That's because your stepdad didn't love you in the first place.
Took my mother to Arizona, bro. We wanted to do like just a number 4 over his eyebrows.
Yeah. Get the stragglers.
Bro, his eyebrows were like getting to know like his ears. It was insane.
That was a bad day. The first time the hair cutter went and just snipped some eyebrows, and
then it grows back even harder.
Fuck, because you can make it well into your 20s without them even touching that shit. And one day they broke out the scissors and went snip, and it's never been the same.
Oh, I had a dude
now
tell
I
me
got to keep
straight
that shit trimmed down.
Briss
said it's out of control. I got to do something about it.
Really?
I said, all right. Yeah, he said straight up, it's out of control.
For what? For you?
For the eyebrows.
You
Yeah,
look fine, man.
I just had them done.
Just had them done.
You know?
Like you go to manscaping?
No, you got to go to an old man barber. I got a lot of flack on my Twitter because I gave this barber shit. I called the barber in St. Louis. I said, do you take walk-ins? Yeah, come on in. What time do you close? 5 o'clock. So I walk in, and I walk in, I don't know, 4:15.
Yeah.
And I said on the phone, look, I got to take like a 40-minute Uber over there. Like, I want to make sure. And it's packed, and he gives me, he's like, who the fuck is this guy? No, I got too many people. And I'm like, well, you told me. So then I look on the thing, and it's like $75.
Oh, right.
It's like one of these hipster barbershops. And so I said, hey, I went down the street. I got an old man barber, gave me the whole deal for $7.
That's the way to go.
But then, like, the fans of the barbershop were all bummed out that I called them out on Twitter, which I guess it was a little.
Why did you calling out the hip barber?
Yeah, because, like.
Dude, your hair takes 10 seconds.
Right,
to cut.
exactly. Just
what are you
buzz
talking
it.
about?
Just buzz it. But I wanted to go there because it said, like, when in St. Louis, try these couple places. So I was like, oh, let me go to
like a barbecue joint,
like a mom and pop shop. No, like a mom and pop joint. Like if you go into a town, you want to go to a cool record store, right. So that it looked like a cool spot on Yelp. But meanwhile, it's a spot where the guy is like, the guy was busy, he's overworked, he's angry, I don't know. And so I go to the old man, and he said to me, first thing I knew the guy was gonna be great because he's crazy. First thing he says to me, he puts his finger on my forehead and he goes, second cousin married Bruce Willis. Like, what? All right. And the guy was out of his mind, but he buzzed my head, shaved the beard, trimmed it up, and then he said, yo, you got to do something about the hair on the ears. And right. And I'm like, I didn't, they
what
get
about
wild.
The second cousin of Bruce Willis?
I don't know. I said,
Did you ask him?
Yeah, I said, you going to tell me? He goes, no, that's it.
And that's what makes him cool.
Yeah, and he's right by. There's in St. Louis. There's a great farmers market where you could go get the gumbo, you get the crawfish.
You need a Travel Channel show.
I'm working on it. I have a podcast now, which I talk about a lot lot of my travels and a lot of things, but I need to do that.
You love the layover there, Jamey.
Love a good layover
in Atlanta, bro.
Because I go right in the Sky Lounge. I'll eat all the shitty free food. I drink.
It's not all bad though in there.
Some of it's all right. Yeah.
What do you like, the chicken casserole thing?
I didn't go for the chicken. I looked at that weird rice.
Oh yeah,
what
the
is
rice.
That rice?
What, the dirty rice?
Yeah.
They started doing cornmeal sometimes in the mornings, which is kind of interesting.
Did you see at JFK they had a DJ and they had Moscow mules and fucking pulled pork sandwiches for free?
What did you do in Tampa? Did you lay over anything in Tampa?
No, but our drummer and our guitar player, they went from Austin to Tampa on the day off, and I think our drummer ended up getting like one of those like hotel resorts and like one of those discount sites, and he got it for like $70 with a pool, a slide, all this stuff. I just drove with the bus to New Orleans. We had a day off in New Orleans, and I just hit New Orleans hard. I went to Harrah's, lost money.
Yeah.
I went to where else?
Good cobbler over there. They went to go fix your shoes.
Got a mole removed, one of the finest mole removal.
Donated some shit to the shitbox place.
Yeah, dude. He's selling ginger shit for fucking $25 a gram down there.
This day and age, the barbershop has Twitter fans.
The
It's
street
ridiculous.
value of some ginger shit.
I want to know more about the shit thing, man. That sounds like a nice side job for some pocket money.
Look up donating shit.
Right.
Donating fecal matter. Donating feces for pay.
I can't believe Jim Norton didn't know about this either, huh?
Oh, his. You couldn't use it. No way.
He's probably running a chop shop out of his ass with all the cool shit stuff.
Open biodome stool donation, right there.
Stool donation.
See? Open biodome.
See?
All right. Well, and are we trying to get Dr. Steve on the phone for this? He's perfect for this.
Do they come pick it up or not?
Look, it says become a donor.
You jog in.
Jog in with your shit.
Yeah, you got a hot one in the chamber, ready to fire.
Oh, where do they accept that?
Let's see. I think this one's Massachusetts.
Can you bring it from home, or do they want it
No,
from...
you got to go in. It's got to have a sterile. You drop it in the bowl. You'll see. Watch it on Vice on demand. HBO Go.
I think I would do it just for a goof, just to see what it's all about.
Or also at least get it tested and let it know, because like you were saying, you're good now with the therapy, but they've been proving that depression, anxiety, all this stuff, it starts in your gut,
right?
And that your gut health is like 70% of your mood and all this stuff. There's all these new studies coming out.
Wow. We're calling Dr. Steve right now.
Were you a sperm donor too, Jamey?
No, I was just joking about that. I gotta,
Bro, that's your first question. He's quiet for 30 minutes.
I gotta be careful about this, because when you're in a band and you travel, I've been on the road for over 20 years.
He's donating enough sperm.
My daughter said to me the other day, like, I know you have a second family somewhere. I'm like, I said, I absolutely do not have any kids anywhere in the world. I swear on my life.
But you don't know that.
What if they showed up now?
What are you denouncing? What if your child is listening and you're denouncing them?
No, I'm just saying the
unknown child.
Yeah.
No, I understand what Jamie's saying. Those guys that have actual 2 fucking families in the country.
I dated a girl. Her dad
that is crazy.
Double life.
How the fuck do you pull that off?
And my birthday is the day, like in that book that tells you what your birthday means. That's the day that says, like, you lead a double life. My mother was like, oh yeah, that's
Bruce Willis's second cousin.
The dude that did Sunday Morning before Charles Carroll. Yeah, Charles Carroll. Yeah. He had 2 families.
He's always on the road.
I'd have 2 families.
You know who else? I heard allegedly Jimmy Hart.
Really?
Yeah, because he
from WWE.
Yeah, because he's in Tampa. He lives in Tampa.
But did the families know?
No, and he was in Memphis because he started Memphis wrestling, and supposedly there's a Memphis family and a Tampa family. That's what I've heard. I don't know.
And you just go back and forth, and neither family knows. That's
no, I think the second family always knows about the first family.
Yeah,
yeah. It's hard to keep it quiet when you got that megaphone too, bro. Nice. When you're whispering at 180 volts.
Nice.
It's hard enough to make plans with one fucking family. Like Thanksgiving, it's like, Jesus, what do you got to do?
Well, what if your son's out there, man, and you're saying this kind of stuff?
Little Jimmy?
This.
You might have a kid out there, Jimmy Jasta.
Like German Jim. No, I
would be happy if I had a kid show up at my door, like a son, and he was like, "I'm your son," like that. I didn't know, not that I abandoned him.
That would make you happy?
Only if he's like older than my marriage.
I would be pissed because I'm like, I bet you the mom fucking raised him bad. I didn't even get a chance.
No,
I'd say that.
Yeah,
that's what I would be thinking.
You gotta swallow that and just take him to a couple of lunches, bro.
What if all of a sudden a teenager?
You a hug or two, man.
Yeah, dude, you can't fight that battle.
Take him to the garbage dump like your dad.
You're gonna fight the past. Burn a little plastic. Have a little cookout with your boy.
If a teenage kid comes to your front door, looks just like you, you're like, what the fuck? You're bummed that all those years went by, and then you wonder if he was raised right.
I'd be a little bit hurt, but you know what? I would take him in. And I'm going to say this honestly right now. If I got a son out there, because I've been in and out of a lot of freaking trim out there, places, some things outside of Pittsburgh that occurred. And I just want to tell my son I love you, man. And if you're looking for me and you need me, man, I'm right here for you. Don't be afraid to come and approach your father.
Can I add to that? My son, if you're listening, if you're under 13, don't fucking come around, man. You fuck my marriage up. 17 or older, I'll take you. I'll love you. I'll get you a bedroom.
And somewhere an 11-year-old boy just breaks down in tears.
Stay away until I'm divorced.
Let me before we go to break, Dr. Steve, we got Jamey Jasta in studio, and he's talking about donating your poop for money. $40 or load, right, Jamey?
Yep.
You know anything about this?
Yeah, it's sort of like the goose that laid the golden eggs.
Wow.
If you've got clean fecal matter, you can donate for transplant.
Well, what deems it to be clean?
Well, not having hepatitis A would help.
All right.
Not having Clostridium difficile, which is what they're using it for most likely.
What is that?
Clostridium difficile is it's a bacterium that causes a thing called pseudomembranous colitis. Now, basically what this is when you take a lot of antibiotics, you kill off all the good bacteria in your bowel. And then what's left is these crummy bacteria that just sort of take over and cause these little plaques in the bowel called pseudomembranes, and it causes voluminous diarrhea. People have died from it. And fecal transplant actually is a valid treatment for that. The cool thing about fecal transplant is
there's
that
nothing cool about it.
No, it's
nothing
amazing.
Cool about it.
No, it's amazing.
It is amazing.
It's helping people's lives. Like, do you know anybody that has Crohn's disease or has any of this irritable bowel? They're so depressed. Especially when they have a flare up, you can't do anything. Have you ever had the stomach bug, violent diarrhea?
How about we break it down though? There was some sick fucking doctor out there that figured this shit out.
Yeah, dude, it was through horses. They've been doing it through horses for 400 years.
Go ahead, Dr. Steve.
Yeah, you can eat yogurt, and the problem with that is it only has one bacterium, which is lactobacillus, which, by the way, is evidence that God has a sense of humor, because that's the same bacterium that is, populates the female vagina, is the same bacteria that makes yogurt into yogurt. But you can eat it, but the problem is the stomach kills most of it, and then it's got to go through the small intestine just to get to the large intestine. So it makes sense to take healthy bacteria and inject them, through a tube back into the colon from the backside to repopulate it. And the best place to get those bacteria is from other people's turds.
Is this an Assassin's Creed plot? I feel like this is a video game plot.
We all have questions, but what do they do with the poop to get it ready for transplant?
Oh, you dump it in a bucket and you add a little fluid to it, and then you give it back into the person through an element bag.
Do you taste it like you're cooking? Like, it needs a little more fluid.
Now, there is another way that you can do it with a colonoscopy. I've heard of this, where they'll use the colonoscope and insert it in, and then as they're withdrawing the scope, they'll deposit, this transplanted fecal matter. Now, there are these. Okay, so there's
I only want my poop in my butt.
Now, wouldn't it be better if you didn't have to pay people to donate, but you could make your own? And so there's a commercial version of transplanted poop, and it has a trade name. It's called Repopulate, and very clever.
I'm investing right away.
Right. And now, look, the cool thing is not only for this Clostridium difficile, but they're looking at it for Crohn's disease, as you mentioned, and ulcerative colitis, that it may be beneficial for those conditions as well.
Can you smoke it?
Sure.
Fucking. Because I'd smoke a gram of butt hash in a heartbeat, dude.
Dr. Steve,
feel free.
I had a question about your gut holds a lot of your mood, right? Like it depends. You could, like, if you have depression or stuff, it could be a gut problem. Is that true?
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? The gut bacteria, there may be an association between our gut bacteria and conditions like depression, stuff like that. They're really just start looking at this. I've got, and I can't remember these people's name, and they're going to kill me, but they sent me a kit that you actually give them a stool sample, and they analyze your gut bacteria and see if you're prone to certain diseases.
That's a bunch of shit to me, I think.
I was on the road. I was on the road. We had done like 6 flights in a row, and I couldn't shit. I was so constipated, and I couldn't even really get out of the bunk. And I took this stuff. We were in I think the Czech Republic, and I didn't know what it was. I just took it, and I shit my brains out. And then I went to a walk-in clinic. I think it was in Prague, and the guys there said, take this probiotic, and it was it was in Czech writing, but it definitely said I want to say 25 billion. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that's probably right.
And I took 2, and then I took the rest of the thing for the rest of the tour. And I swear, I'd never been so happy. I was upbeat. I felt
nice
good.
And light on your feet.
I was loving it, and I swear, I'm telling you, that probiotic works not just to shit normally, but you really feel good.
Yeah, and you can buy that stuff over the counter. My favorite probiotic over the counter is one called
Yawn!
Flora Q2.
Now we're talking about probiotics. Get back to the poop talk.
That makes you feel good.
Can I ask a different shit question?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
So, Doc, I'm a pretty good public shitter. Like, I don't mind going in restaurants and wherever I have to go.
Me and you,
Jets
bro.
games,
anywhere. I don't give a fuck.
But I leave.
Port Authority bathroom, baby.
If I have the shit, I'll go anywhere. So I left.
Hope we'll do it on the beach.
Yeah, I left
that is true.
Saturday from Tampa. And my body knows when I'm not in my own environment. I don't really get constipated because I don't like have stomach pains or anything. But if my body just won't shit when I'm in another state until it gets acclimated. How does it know?
Dude, who knows? It's amazing.
You should know. You're a fucking doctor.
Right.
How does it know when you're getting right close to your house and all of a sudden turtling too?
Well, that's mental. That's mental. You see,
this has got to be mental too.
But I'm comfortable shitting elsewhere. That's why I don't understand. And today I was like, today's the day you're going to shit.
Yeah, I don't.
What about the shit cycle?
Evolutionary advantage to it.
The shit cycle. You ever notice that? Like when you're with a dude, you all of a sudden you're on the same shit cycle. You're like, this motherfucker's got to shit at the same time as me.
Like periods.
When you're on the road,
we're syncing up.
Yeah, the shit cycle. Like when you're on the road with dudes.
I had no idea about this.
And then in the middle of the night, you stop at like a rest area.
That's because you stopped at a rest area.
No. There's dudes there's a lot of dudes on the road that they know to shit before you get on the bus. Like I'm gonna get this done at night. Like we call them night poopers.
Yeah.
And they get it done. But then you have like occasionally like dudes where you're always like, this fool's in the stall again. Yeah. At the same time.
Who's premeditated?
Is that real, Dr. Steve? A shit cycle?
Yeah, that's that would be new science. But I wouldn't be surprised. Here's the thing. I think there is an evolutionary advantage to all these things that you guys brought up, because if you're living in a cave, and let's say you're a hunter-gatherer, you're going to want to have a specific place to leave your bowel movements, because that's where the saber-toothed tigers can find you. So you want to be able to time that properly. So, and it probably makes sense for two of you to go at the same time so you can watch out for each other.
Opie don't give a
back
fuck.
to back. My brother and I used to do that when we were growing up. Back to back.
I tapped out a while ago. Donating the poop was exciting to me. Now this guy wants to talk about his favorite vitamins in a minute or two.
What about the ear hair, Dr. Steve? Why are we growing hair on our ears
That's a great
39?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, why? The older you get, why do you get more hair all over your fucking body?
And what about hair on the shaft? Like, why does it got to go up there? Like, just stay where it was.
Horrendous. The thing is that evolution doesn't care about those things.
Right.
So the things that are gross to us when we get older, well, hell, we used to die when we were 20, 30 years old, and it wasn't a problem. So these are all things that evolution isn't selecting against.
I agree with you. These are pieces of joy, brother, and a lot of these guys aren't accepting it.
Nothing worse than stretching out your fucking piece and shaving it down. Shaving down the shaft.
Why would you need the hair that far up the shaft? Why now?
Because your penis gets longer over time, so the hair has to keep it warm, so it's reaching out for that.
Yeah. Yours does. We're Irish.
Hey, I'm not in your boat there, brother. I do all right. You talk about your own small penis.
I just don't know where we went wrong today.
Huh?
I just feel like we're good. Selling shit and there's a doctor
$40 for your poop.
We should agree to all donate our shit. We're all too well off to.
Yeah, what about a mixed bag? How much for a mixed bag? Do you know, Doc?
Dude, I want to be an Uber driver. Now I want to fucking donate some poop just for the experience.
Walking around money.
People think I did it for the rate. I really want to try to Uber a little bit.
That's why when you see people that are like, oh, I can't get a job, this and that, motherfucker, people are selling their shit.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's a guy out here dressed as a Silver Surfer making bank. Like, it's America.
The Silver Surfer guy outside?
No, he was down the road, but he must be paid, right?
Those characters?
Yeah, like when was the last time Silver Surfer had a movie or anything?
Oh, if you don't pay them, they'll beat you up. So they're making
How
money.
much is it?
You know about the Times Square dudes, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're scary as fuck.
When I worked at MTV2, this guy came in, the naked...
Cowboy?
Yeah, and they go, oh, what's your real name? Can we call you real name? No, call me Naked. And he said that to Dave Grohl, and Dave was like, oh.
I had him on once.
It was bad when they had him on
once.
How bad was it?
I hated him.
Be honest.
I did not like
But you would not book John Taffer?
Nah, fuck. Dude, actually, I regret not booking Taffer because he was really funny. For the 2 minutes that he was
great. Taffer was great.
He was great. I can't wait to have him on for real. But
Dave Grohl, he's the nicest guy ever. He was on promoting his probiotics God album on Headbangers. And for you to douche out Dave Grohl, you got to be a real douche.
Yeah, Dave's pretty cool. He's pretty down to earth.
And hey, if Naked Cowboy's listening, that's just what I saw.
Look up Elmo arrested, Times Square.
But he lives in a hotel. He's making so much money.
Yeah.
He lives in like one of these Times Square hotels. He's making like 20 grand a day or something ridiculous. I swear, it's more than you could ever believe how much this guy's making.
And he franchised it out now.
Yeah.
So he's got other people with the name.
Yeah, he's got like naked,
he's a smart
small
guy
person,
in a way,
naked girl, naked nun.
Look, if you put this in Google, it's hilarious. All the Elmo guys that have been arrested in Times Square. No, these are the Elmo characters.
Yeah.
They get arrested all the time because they harass people. You go there with your family, you don't know any better, you're from another part of the country, and these characters come up to you, take pictures with the kids, and
they're Ukrainian too.
And then you don't know any better, and all of a sudden they're showing you like their. I'm trying to remember. I think they write it on their hand or something.
No,
like
it's a square. You square
right there,
huh?
I think it's like you swipe the card.
All that. No, but they want cash too. They're all carrying.
They're Soviets too. A lot of them are illegals.
They're fucking scary, man. I wave them off all the time. My little kids are like screaming, like, "Oh my god!" And they want pictures with all these people.
Yeah, I don't want some dirty muppet over there hugging my son. I'll take him to the dump like a real father. If I even care about him.
But now they corralled them. They put them in these two little corral areas where they can't wander around as much. But
oh my god, that sounds very Trumpish.
It's
That's
pretty,
right.
It's crazy though.
America's great again.
Let's corral
the fucking Muppets.
Dr. Steve, thank you, buddy. Weird Medicine is on this channel whenever E-Rock decides.
Yeah, whenever at E-Rock's pleasure. Also 4 a.m. on Wednesdays. But also
you got the hot
demand.
spot. 4 a.m. Wednesdays. You can listen to Weird Medicine with Dr. Steve.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, boys.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Also on demand.
I didn't mean that about vitamins and stuff.
Man, they had a kid.
He just gets excited about different things than I get excited about. I gotta reel him in every once in a while. Well, we should take a break. Mike Calta is in the studio. What do you got going on besides your Tampa radio show? You want to promote anything?
No, nothing. I'm on Twitter, Mr. Mike Calta. That's it. Everything's cool.
Tony Burton?
I'm here. What do you want my Twitter? Agent TDB.
No, we don't want your.
We want to know what are white people secretly up to. That's what I want to know from this
You never
guy.
know. Some aspiring radio guys might need an agent.
All right.
Good luck.
You might get the next Opie.
I think he's aspired.
No, I'm saying people who are listening. I like hearing about the radio business.
He's almost loosening his tie, so that's good.
I took my jacket off.
Theo Von, what do you got, buddy?
I'll be in West Palm Beach at the Palm Beach Improv, December 9th through 11th.
Yeah.
Just come on out, bring some joy. Let's hug. Let me touch your mother.
This is different today. Yesterday was fun, but it was just me and Theo, my
feel her heartbeat,
and my oldest friend in the world, Buzzy.
Oh, this guy was a real.
Went to the Statue of Liberty today.
He was a good guy, actually.
I like Buzzy.
He's out here with his family. He's got 3 children. They all look like him, which is nice these days. And
which is nice these days.
And he's taking his family out. Right. Yeah, but I think these days it's nice to see that still.
They were pissed at Dad because Dad was having a good time on the radio, and the kids wanted out. They were excited for the first 2 minutes, and they just didn't give a fuck after that.
Well, Buzzy's in here talking about masturbation up in Buffalo and skeeting out in the winter, and his wife's sitting over here all quiet and peaceful.
That's how it went down.
That's Trump's America, dude. That's how we're living these days.
Locker room talk.
I got a great story. A buddy, this kid down the street actually used to make me bury his feces when I was a child to hang out with him.
Why?
And you're like, that's $40 a pop now.
You said that was part of a club you were involved with.
Yeah, it's the only way I could hang out with them.
Shit Barriers Club?
This kid. Yeah, but I was the only one working. Apparently, I was putting it overtime. But I buried about 200 doo-doos of this young fella.
Why?
It's Italian guy. And then he passed away years later. He ran a boat into an embankment, one of those cement embankments when he was on pills. But yeah, man, I used to get out there and bury the feces in the morning.
How did he give it to you?
Yeah, how did he present it?
He just laid it on the ground out of his butt. Just straight out.
You'd shit on the ground, and then you had to.
Yeah, there was no handwork in between. I had one of those couple little shovels, like the kids had, and very kind of a delta sort of soil yard, kind of sand, a little.
In a way, I feel you were molested.
No, I wasn't molested.
That's kind of like his gratification was you watching him shit.
Sometimes I would look the other way.
Yeah, but still, he saw it.
I gotta leave the show and go home and hug.
This is the craziest show ever.
I gotta go hug my kids.
I was like, you never did anything to hang out with the older guys in the neighborhood?
I wasn't burying their shit.
Oh, I'm the bad guy. He's denouncing his future kids by kicking them all out of his life. This guy, he's hiding Hulk Hogan's sex tapes.
He's donating shit.
We don't even know what this criminal is up to. He's silent.
Yeah, you got to worry about the silent ones.
Yeah, he's silent, dude. Little Rush over here. Yeah. We don't know what's going on. I'm the bad guy.
When I was a kid, I was molested by a girl.
See, now we're talking.
But people seem to blow that off because it was a girl.
Can we talk about it after the break?
Oh, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, because that could
lead
to
Hillary
20
doesn't
minutes.
care about that, does she?
I'm in the camp of I blow it off. Said maybe you could change my mind.
I mean, yeah.
I don't think you can be in that camp, dude.
I know it's a bad thing to say, but in general, I think.
How old was the girl?
Hold on, we'll get into it after the break because it's going to be a while and we're really late. Jamey Jasta from Hate Breed in studio too.
Yeah, we're nominated for Best Live Band at the Revolver Golden God Awards or Revolver Music Awards. If anybody wants to vote, that would be great. We got stiff competition. I doubt we'll win. We're up against Slipknot and Black Sabbath, but it'd be great for a working class band to get some votes in. RevolverMag.com, and if you want to hear the podcast, GasDigitalNetwork.com.
Nice. Man. We will go to Mike Calta after this. Stay there. Oh, yeah, Queen. I think Freddie Mercury got the HIV on this date, right?
Did he?
Today he got it today?
I think so. I think today was the day, yeah. No, he announced it today. Oh. Back in 1991.
I wonder if you know when you get it, like that moment you get it. A friend of mine said that he remembers the day he got it.
The day he got it? He just knew.
He remembers, yeah. He said that. He's got it. He's had it for about 30 years. He said he remembered.
I knew when I got my wife pregnant, like I was like, that's the one. And all the times we tried to do that, I was like, that's the one. So maybe it's like a special.
How did you know? You just knew.
Because when you just regular shoot a load, it's just normal.
Right.
And that one just felt like it came from my toes. I stepped back and I was like, you got a baby. You're pregnant.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like skee ball when you let that one go and you know it's going in the middle.
Before you even release it.
Yeah. You're like, we're going home, kitty.
Top left corner, baby.
Daddy's getting you a plastic spider ring.
5,000, 10,000,
70,000 doesn't even matter.
Who cares? It's top left corner.
Valueless.
I know it well.
Tickets, so many tickets.
I got Jamey Jasta from Hate Breed. We got Theo Vaughn. Tony Byrne, I think I'm going to turn his mic off, though. And Mike Calta from
hurtful.
Tampa.
So hurtful.
Tony Byrne's auditing the show, literally.
No kidding. Waiting for you to talk, Tom.
I'm right here.
That was you.
Listen, I got a question for you. Who do people say you look like the most?
I've gotten recently. People said Trump.
Did they?
Yeah. I could see that.
Okay.
Trump.
Who else?
You're turning
the Herbie the dentist in that
oh my God! Yes, the Misfits.
Yes.
Misfit toys.
Yes.
Land of Misfit toys. Yeah, absolutely.
Boris Becker when I was younger.
What were you thinking?
Okay.
Yeah.
What were you
I was
thinking?
thinking a little Busey.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like if Busey was sane.
From the side, it's different when you look.
And he had a round face.
Right.
I could see
like post-rec Busey.
If Busey,
thank you.
Sorry.
that's good. Post.
Pre-rec he was a little.
I thought I heard pre.
Did you pull that joke out of your fanny pack?
I'm sorry. Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, you're gonna like the fanny pack.
Yeah, but the dude from Hate Breed should not be toting a fanny pack.
It's a man purse.
I'm thinking Rogan can pull it off. I don't. Can you pull it off though? You look all right.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I kind of wear it on the side. I have the T-shirt over it a little bit.
All right.
Everybody tries to read it though. Like they see it and they try to read it. Mine says Las Vegas on it because I got the worst one. Like
Because you're LA over there, I assume.
Yeah. But if you're gonna have a fanny pack, you should have the worst one. Don't you think?
Yeah, you got to have the shittiest one. Like mine is like a thrift store one. Like it's like it smells like it's like old leather.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
Rogan can pull it off. We're looking at pictures. God, there's a million pictures of Rogan and his fanny pack
You gotta
online.
listen to. He talks so in depth about the different styles and products that he uses when he travels.
Yes.
Like it can't just be a simple shitty fanny pack. It's got to have multiple layers. He's got one now that has the that stuff in it that they can't scan your credit cards from a distance.
Yep, that's I got that thing at AAA. Like you know how they try to scare everybody at AAA because everybody who's at AAA is like 70 or 80 because they're still using fucking atlases and maps and shit, and they're highlighting the route for these poor fucks, and they're like they see that and they get scared. They go, "What? I heard a lady in line. She's like, what, they could scan you? And so you buy this thing. So I was like, I got caught into it too. I bought the thing. So you put it in your fanny pack and then they can't scan your credit card.
Anytime my shit's ever been stolen, the bank just covers it right away. They call me. I went to Mexico. They wouldn't even let me use my own card there. I'm pretty good with that. I'm not afraid of any of that shit. I got nothing.
I worry about like some places in South America and Asia, because I wonder, how do they know like that far away? Like what if the internet's down or something and they're scanning the card and they don't get the message or whatever?
Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, these days I feel like you're probably gonna it's better than getting mugged, you know?
Yeah,
I'd rather have somebody steal my identity, steal my money electronically, than just getting beaten down for it and gunned up to the face.
Mugging
and stuff.
Isn't that bad?
That's probably true. You're right.
They pop your eyeballs, and that's about it. Go home with a black eye and no credit cards, no wallet.
The identity theft's way like this new way they're doing it. Way better.
I think I'd rather be mugged than fucking an identity.
You don't cry in your sleep before you go to bed thinking about the incident when you got your identity robbed.
And then you look cool. You have a black eye for a few days. As you're calling your bank and getting everything back together.
That's true. That's true. Maybe the old-fashioned way is better. Like a man.
Identity theft is brutal. Mugging is not so much. Mike Calta is in town. So you're from New York. You're from Staten Island, and your family's in Manhattan for the whole week.
Yeah. Well, we're here till Jersey. I mean, till Wednesday, and we go to Jersey. So get this: my grandparents.
Yeah.
My grandmother's 88. My grandfather's 89. They've been married since I was like 4 years old. And my grandfather was married before, and he got divorced. And the church wouldn't let them get married in a church, so they're getting remarried on Saturday. Wow. It's like the sweetest, gayest thing ever.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about that.
It's like, if you know my grandmother, it's kind of adorable.
How long have they been sort of married?
Well, they've been married, legally married. I mean,
Not in God's eyes.
Right, so they've been living in sin.
No, but for how many years?
Since 1974.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the fucking church won't let you.
I thought the Pope said something about that. Didn't they?
The new Pope.
Didn't he forgive something about that?
Dominus Vobiscus. But, you know, the church kept telling them no, and then that broad finally died this year, so they were like, all right, let's do it.
See, those churches must have not gotten the message. I think there's a problem with communicating it, right? Like maybe they don't. I don't know.
The problem is the fucking church.
That's kind of weird when they change the rules. What happens to all the people that are in hell because they broke that rule, and now it's okay to do that?
They get paroled.
Like the suicide thing.
Yeah, well, what ends up happening?
They're back.
They move you out of hell?
Yeah, you go back to purgatory for a little while.
Nice.
And then you serve your time there.
What if you have friends in hell at that point?
Yeah.
Why would you want to be moved?
Not supposed to enjoy it. Yeah. No relatives.
Hell, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like by this point, it's got to be pretty full hell, you think?
Yeah, but I mean, so's heaven.
Yeah.
No, man, there's way more people in hell than heaven.
Yeah, there's probably like 80 people in heaven.
Are you kidding me? There's you got a lot of room in heaven.
Bro, we're all going to hell.
I think I'm good.
You are out.
I'm willing to accept my 17-year-old son that I didn't know about.
That's a good point.
I'm willing to give my shit away for free if it helps people.
Sure.
I think I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah. So that's what you're doing for Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving? No, actually, we're going to my wife's. My wife's from Jersey, so we're going to her friend's house for Thanksgiving.
Is there going to be some Trump talk, you think?
I don't know, man, because if there is, I'm probably going to be the only Trump supporter, much like it is in my house now, so... Which I enjoy. I'll fight with everybody there.
What, everybody in your house is against Trump?
My wife's in the mental health industry, so she didn't really like Hillary, but she likes Obamacare because poor people are covered, blah, blah, blah.
That's a good point.
So we were a divided household.
A divided household.
We didn't fight over it because nobody really gave a fuck, but we canceled each other's votes out.
Thanksgiving's going to be crazy this year, man. People are going to be talking up to Trump.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of arguing.
I love him.
And screaming.
I love him. I loved him since day one.
Will there be a murder, though? That's what I want to know.
You don't love him?
No, I don't love him. He's been on
rich and white. You should love him.
Oh, I do. I'll do much better with Trump as president than with Hillary, but he's a joke. We've had him on this radio show. We laughed at him, not with him.
You know what?
He's entertaining as all hell. We loved having him on the show, but...
Can have an entertaining president. He's going to get in there. He's going to fuck some shit up.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
Because you're like the third Trump supporter I've talked to this week, and everybody has a different answer.
Are you a Trump supporter, Jamey Jasta?
No.
Are you a Hillary supporter?
No.
Yeah, see, that's the boat that I was in, but I mean, out of the two of them, it was an easy choice.
Well,
I'm in the...
If I had a gun to my head...
camp.
If you had a gun to your head and you only have the two choices,
right?
Do you take Hillary or Trump?
Well, you did have a gun to your head on election day. You had to pick one of them.
No, because there's a lot of people like me that just didn't vote.
And you voted for Trump because there was that 1 million vote difference there.
No,
that fucked things
I
up.
went to the polls with my grandmother, and this is I've said this on my podcast this week. There were people with Trump pins of every race, of every sex. Like I was really surprised. Like there was Latinos, black dudes, older women, white women, jugglers. Like I was like, and my grandmother's 86, so we sat at the table. We don't go to the booth, and everybody who's older or who's needs a minute to move around and stuff and sit. She's hearing.
Who'd she vote for?
She voted for Hillary, and she had her reasons. She wanted to see a woman president. She's like, this might be my only chance to see a woman president in my lifetime, and so. I said, I wasn't going to have this argument about, Benghazi and all this stuff. But then, she's talking out loud while she's doing it. And I see this other lady giving her a look like, what are you doing? And this lady was like a normal, basic, generic white broad, like in her 50s. And she was wearing her Make America Great pin, and she was voting for Trump. So, but my question is this.
Yeah, by the way, I was never that guy. I never had the red hat and the shirt and all that shit, but go ahead.
Well, my question is this, because I've had real civil conversations with Trump supporters, because I feel like it's just everybody's too emotional about it. And nothing really gets.
Good. I'm not emotional.
I'm in a business where I scream for a living. So and I know that in music it's one thing to scream, but when you're trying to have a conversation, to start screaming and yelling, and then it goes to violence like we're seeing in the media, I just want to know. He's going back on all his stuff. Does that change your...
does that bother you?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, the one thing that bothers... Look, you get in there, you do what you got to do to get in there, and then when you get in there, you got to stick as close to what you said as possible. The one thing that I don't like is how he will not pursue criminal charges against Hillary Clinton, because that was the thing that really got people fired up, and now to just drop that, I think, is bullshit. However, if you're doing it because you're like, look, now that I'm here, there's so much more important shit, and we need to just move on. Now we got an eye on her. If she fucks up again, we got her, but let's just go on. And as far as Obamacare, Obama was the first president in my lifetime to actually come up with a nationalized health care, and he should get a little credit for it. It's not perfect. So if Trump fixes it, which is what I think he should do, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, it really helps.
But he backed off on that, too. He was going to get rid of the whole thing.
He was going to repeal it, but now he was going to get rid of that.
He was going to build the wall. He was going to get...
Which now is a fence.
Yeah, parts of it are going to be a fence.
If he just parks some fucking bulldozers down there, everybody will be happy. He doesn't even have to build a wall.
But I would love to hear from some Trump people, because I think that pisses him off that he's backing off on a lot of these things.
But have you dealt with someone who has really had their life negatively affected by an illegal alien? Because I know someone who works as a Border Patrol agent and tells me straight up the horrible, horrible shit with the child trafficking and the drugs and the murders and the rapes and feeding people, gang members to dogs and really scary shit. But do you know anybody?
Yeah, I lived in Miami.
Okay, so you have a dog in that fight. Yeah, so you have a dog in that fight.
I don't care. I'm of the feeling that everybody should be allowed to come here the right way. Yeah. And just living in Miami alone, there's so many people down there. I worked in the school system for a couple of summers when I was younger, and the kids that want to go there are so fucked up by the kids that are there that aren't supposed to be, that it's creating a problem for the communities go down because there's no money there for those people. So yeah, some that needs to be tightened up for sure. And it's about time that somebody, I feel, it just comes out and says it right away.
How many people do you think he's going to deport?
Well, Obama already deported millions.
Did he?
Yeah, 3 million or something.
Wow.
Look that up. Don't
but they
quote
said
me on that.
That even if Trump wanted to deport all these people, like he's saying, it's impossible. The system isn't even set up properly for that. We don't have enough judges. We don't have enough lawyers. We don't have enough holding centers. They said this would take years to really put it in place to do it the way Trump is saying. But it's going to be done in what, the next couple of years.
You park a churro truck, a lot of people are going to show up.
You got to Piper right the fuck out.
Yeah. But you pretty much
Latinos love Ferris wheels too.
You got to put them through the system, though. And they said that they don't have enough resources. It's impossible. They're basically saying it's impossible what Trump is trying to accomplish in a short period of time. Anyway,
yeah, I think it's bizarre. I think at the very least he's able to just kind of there has to be some checks and balances. I think that Hillary lost a lot of votes there, and I think it's where Trump gained some ground.
She stinks. She blew it.
Yeah,
Trump didn't win this thing, but Hillary blew it.
Yeah. And a lot of people, whose children serve in the military, they're over there fighting for these borders or whatever, but then they're living next door to somebody who's not paying any taxes. Like, I think that hurts people's feelings. Yeah, it pisses people off.
I get that part of the story. I really do.
Pisses a lot of people off.
I didn't know
it's not fair.
Benghazi or where the fuck it was or what happened. When you see that movie, you're like, oh, that's so shitty of us.
But I agree, it's a bigger conversation on how to solve it.
What were some of the things that Trump said that you really didn't like, but didn't like skew you towards like a Gary Johnson or a Jill Stein?
The thing with, first of all, the Gary Johnson fucked himself on the Aleppo thing. If you're running for the most powerful job in the world and you can't answer a simple current events question, you're a fucking idiot. And Jill Stein, I mean, those are just people who are trying to get out there for their cause. They don't really want the job. They're wasting everybody else's time. Trump, I just love the fact that Trump was a non-politician, and he was a guy that they gave him $1 million and he turned it into $10 billion.
But what did he say that you didn't like?
That I didn't like how he was. I didn't like his whole when I went to one of his rallies in Tampa, and he came out with that face, and he went over and he hugged the flag, and I thought, enough of that bullshit. And it did very much feel like a Nazi rally. Like there were all these rednecks behind me, and he was like, "We're gonna make America great," and they were like, "Make America great," and I was like, "Oh fuck, man, this could be really bad."
You still wanted. You still.
Yeah, because
your conscience is clean.
Yeah,
from voting.
I don't. I know, like you said, I know a lot of black guys that voted for him. I know a lot of. I just think that this country needed
jugglers.
Jugglers. Don't forget about the jugglers.
Jugglers. I would have liked to have seen a different non-politician be that guy.
Yeah,
there was that guy I always bring up. I can never remember his name, and he used to run Boeing, and then he ran Ford, and he was the only one that didn't take bailout money when the car companies were getting bailed out. That's a business guy. That's a guy who could take a debt and fix it. Right. I would like somebody like that.
So it sounds like you have your doubts about Trump then a little bit.
Yeah, but I would have had my doubts about it.
It's Alan Mulally.
Right. I voted for Obama twice, but I'm no crazy Republican.
There you go. I think the hardcore Trump supporters are going to start getting disappointed as he backs off from all these things.
Yeah, listen.
He's not going to deport all those people. He's not going to build a fucking wall in the way that they think.
No.
What else? The Hillary's, she's not going to jail, even though that's not even his responsibility.
I think any normal person went, look, it's a nice thought, but there's no fucking way he's going to round up every illegal and deport him. And I think they
people, just go to your Facebook page. People really believed what he was saying during those rallies.
Yeah.
Like, this is our guy. He's going to get these crazy things done.
And the more outrageous he was, the more people got fired up and they wanted to vote. Like, I think it was all for a campaign.
Right.
He just kept getting like crazier and crazier, and it kept working.
Yeah, I mean, as a radio guy, I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be one hell of a ride.
It's way more exciting. It's funnier. Also, adult asthma is some bullshit, right? Can we shut that down? I'll deport those people. You can't. You're 50 and you can't breathe, brother. Maybe it's time for you to head on to heaven. You know?
What about a peanut allergy? What's wrong with those people?
I just can't deal with a lot of Muppets out here.
I got some weird fucking ailments, but no peanut allergy here.
Yeah, man.
I'm old enough to remember that there was no peanut allergy, so I don't know what the fuck they did differently that now you can't bring a peanut butter and jelly sandwich to school because one kid might die.
Yeah. Oh, well, then it's time for him to go.
It's real. I seen it happen on a flight. It's scary.
No,
his face just started going, and luckily we were landing.
You had to hold his face
Jamey,
down?
I believe it's real. My point is there was a time it wasn't real. So what changed?
Yeah, where did it come from?
Where did it come from?
High fructose corn syrup.
Probably something fucked up in the ingredients.
People selling shit
Maybe
to
Dr. Steve knows, but
get it back.
No, I'm in the school. I completely believe it's a real thing, but we didn't think twice about it growing up.
Can I ask one more Trump question? Sorry.
Christ.
I'm sorry. This whole thing with
Go on Facebook.
Well, because normally I'm on the road and I don't pay attention to any of it. And
really?
Because I'm on the road and I got a meet and greet. I got press. I got to do outside of like European press and stuff. It depends. Like most now, they want to go right to the politics when I do interviews, but. You voted for Trump, right?
Yeah.
So you see this New York Times stuff happening now. You see the stuff with Mike Pence at the Broadway show and stuff. Doesn't any of that stuff like rub you the wrong way that he would take time out of his day to really think about this? Because he's writing the tweet and he's writing it, and you're thinking, bro, you got bigger fish to fry.
you gotta leave that shit alone.
Hold on, though. There's been times where I've been laying in bed and I can't fall asleep, and I'll decide to answer some of these fucking Twitter assholes.
Yeah, but you're not the president.
I might be one day. You don't know that. But yeah, there's a time where somebody should whisper in his ear and go, chill the fuck out. You're the president now, and shave your ears and let them know both things are happening right now. Yeah, and I think in the next 90 days that'll change.
Yeah, he's way too thin-skinned to be president.
You hear about the powwow at the media?
Yeah, he sunned homeboy from CNN, right? He's like, you're a liar.
Well, they said it was a nice meeting, but some of the people that were there are like, fuck that, it wasn't a nice meeting. Yeah. Donald Trump's media summit was a fucking firing squad. That's the headline.
Good.
But Trump's people saying, no, it was very cordial and, we got some things done.
Fuck CNN.
Donald Trump scolded media big shots during an off-the-record Trump Tower sit-down on Monday. It was a fucking firing squad, one source said of the encounter. Trump started with CNN chief Jeff Zucker and said, I hate your network. Everyone at CNN is a liar, and you should be ashamed.
He should be ashamed.
He's right.
It's sad, dude. It's sad what the media's done to these people, man.
They gave her the questions. They got caught doing it twice. They're a disgrace.
I don't even mean that. I just mean like they just creating racism, creating havoc. I mean, the media people aren't as bad as the media makes them look, dude. It's horrible.
Yeah, just come out that you're in a business that is you need hits, and you need ratings, and just be transparent about it.
You should be thanking CNN for real. Right. Every time that fucking guy had a rally, they went to it and aired the whole thing.
Absolutely,
he didn't have to spend $1 to advertise his campaign in the end.
But they're scaring people
because they knew that this guy was going to give them great TV, so they would have the countdown, like we're standing by. As soon as that guy walked on stage, they took it for the whole hour.
Why didn't they support him?
They fucked him over. When I went to that Tampa
I think
rally,
they did way more good for him than fuck him over.
But that wasn't, I don't think, was their intention.
Absolutely. Well, no, they saw that every time that they put a rally on, the ratings went up. Jeff Zucker said that's his biggest regret that they went to it that many times because he knows it blew him up.
I just want to point out that just like my family and everybody else, you motherfuckers blew off my molestation. You did not care about me.
I cared. I'm tweeting
nobody cares.
Dude, I'm the radio guy in the room. I'm waiting for 5 o'clock when everyone's in their cars. I'm not stupid.
I know you.
This
I know
is
you
the
know
tease,
what you're
bro.
going.
Because they're sitting there going, "When are you going to get to that story?"
I'm just saying.
Did you get a lot of people that were like, "You're the man. That's great. I would have killed for that," or you just saying like people weren't sensitive to it?
You're rushing it now. Now we're waiting to 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Because I had the same thing. I had a babysitter that was like telling me, and I'm like, "Whoa, what the fuck is going on here?"
Wait, you got molested?
I don't know.
I say no. A lot of dudes like to be like, "I got molested."
I might jerk off to your story.
That's in the zeitgeist, though. A lot of kids like to think they got molested since it became a thing.
Jamey, we'll start with you.
Oh no, I'll tell you, man.
Well, all right. I was at my friend's house.
How old were you?
I was probably 11, and the babysitter was hot. But I didn't know like what hot was because I'm 10, I'm 11 or whatever.
How old was she?
She had to be like 17, 18. And she brought me and my friend in the room and said, I want to explain to you. And she said, like, the man does this and then he pees inside the girl. It's like pee, but it's not pee. And she explained this whole shit. And I went home and I told my father and he's like, what? And he was flipped out. But it was a whole ordeal. But I was like, but I'm not mad. Like, well, just, what's going on here? But it was definitely like inappropriate
talk.
Yeah.
That's inappropriate. That's not molestation, but you were on the
you're on the cusp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like conversational kind of molestation.
He was more molested burying that guy's shit than you were.
I was actually I was making friends, bro.
Mike Calta, what's your story?
My parents were married for about 5 years, and and we went next door. We lived like in a duplex, and we went next door. I guess they were playing cards or some shit that white trash does.
Fuck, I don't know if I want to hear that.
No, it's not. So.
Dude, should we all hold hands while you say it?
Light candles, light some candles.
I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Prayer circle.
Yeah. They didn't want to leave the kids in the other house, so they put me in the bed with their daughter.
Is Liam Neeson in this? This is good.
And their daughter, I was like, I had to be like 4 or 5, but she had to be like 10. And which isn't that old, but I think like I have a 10-year-old son, and if he did that to a kid now, I'd beat the shit out of him.
Oh yeah, of course.
So we were in the bed, and she kept trying to get me to do shit with her, and I kept blowing off because I really didn't understand it. And then I was a huge Fonzie fan, and she told me that she had a Happy Days board game. And the only way she would let me play the board game is if I fingered her.
Wow.
So she...
And you were 4 or 5?
I was 4. And I had no idea even what kind of equipment that she had. So she was like, let me see yours. So I showed her mine. And then she was like...
Your what, penis?
Yes, my penis.
Okay.
And then I was like... And she's like, this is mine. And I'm like, that's fucking weird because it doesn't look like mine. And then she told me to stick my finger in it and move it around. And I did that. And then we both laid on her back. And she was, I guess, kind of jerking me off while I was fingering her. And all I wanted to do was play the Happy Days board game. And I never told anybody about that. And then I got on the air, and I admitted this like last year, and neither one of my parents brought it up to me. And I could say anything, and my father was like, "Oh, I heard my friend, the guy who cuts my grass, told me that you were going to his place on Saturday." I'm like, "I know you motherfuckers heard about it."
Yeah.
And then my wife, who's a mental health counselor who treats kids who are sexually abused, I was like, "Hey, you must not have heard about this thing. I talked about it in the air. It's kind of uncomfortable." And she goes, "What?" And she's like, "Do I want to hear this?" I go, "I don't know." And she goes, "Oh, is this about your molestation?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, I heard it. I was driving in the car." And I go, "And you don't fucking bring it up to me? You don't check on me and make sure I'm okay?" And everybody blows it off because it was a girl.
Yeah, but it's
I don't. Do you think that's why?
Yes, if it was a guy and he was making me jerk him off, they all would have been like, "Oh, you were molested."
I think
hug me.
I think it's a horrible story, to be honest with you. I'm always in the camp that I don't believe a woman could sexually abuse a guy if they're like teenagers.
Right.
And
like if
I didn't know your story was going to be I was 4 years old.
Right.
That's fucking creepy and just downright
because you think about your
wrong.
kids. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember being 4 or 5. How do you even
remember?
remember?
You would if some girl made you finger.
Yeah, okay, good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
It's a good thing you don't need therapy, Mike.
Yeah, I don't, though. But the thing is, I've never been fucked up. I never did drugs. I never molested another kid.
You want to call your dad? Well,
my dad.
Does he know now?
No, yeah, now they've because I was like, none of you fuckers gonna say anything to me.
Let's have her call in. Is she listening?
I can tell you right now. I'll give you her first name and the street that I lived on.
It's all right.
I keep trying to find her on Facebook.
You have enough lawsuits to deal with.
But do you feel like people don't believe? Because I believe you.
I'm just saying, if you lived on Titus Avenue,
but people don't respect that because you said it on the air. That's what my first concern was.
I didn't say it in a joking way. I mean, I didn't play like fucking heart music behind it, and I'm not sad about it. Like I don't really think it affected me at all. But people do just totally blow it off.
Yeah.
They refer to it as, "Oh, you're molestation."
Well, they probably just don't want to deal with it.
And then for my birthday, everybody bought me Happy Days board games from eBay. I got like 6 of them on my birthday. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You dicks.
No, that's just
rubbing it in.
But do you feel like you were molested? Because I guess in the end it comes back to how, I guess, I'm not a therapist, but maybe how you feel about it.
So you're not a therapist?
Right.
I don't care now. It didn't, like I said, it doesn't affect me. So I don't feel like I've always thought about it, but it wasn't until I talked about it out loud that it became like a real thing. But if this happened to my kids, I'd go crazy and kill everybody. So I guess it is a big deal when you look at it like that.
Was it one and done, or was there more?
Well, there's a couple other things, but no more fingering. But a lot of times she liked to watch me pee, and one time she tried to get me to go in the closet with her, and I was like, "I'm catching on to your act. There is no Happy Days board game, and I'm not going to fall for that."
Finally realized.
Yeah.
So y'all were children, though. She was 10.
She was 10, but I was like 4.
Yeah, I think y'all were children.
Yeah.
It's a little seedy.
Like, I wouldn't arrest her.
Right.
But you should...
10 and 4? That's a big leap.
I agree, but
it depends how she turned out, right? Because if she became a predator, it's then that's the signs right there. But if it was harmless experimentation and she's, a well-adjusted adult with a family or whatever, but you'll never know, right? How would you know?
I'm gonna find that bitch on Facebook one day.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so you haven't brought it up to her though, then, to see how she?
I don't know her. Like my parents divorced shortly after that, and I left. All I remember is her first name, and I know that my mother is friends with her mother on Facebook, so I could look into it and find out. But then again, like,
are you sure this happened, or is it some?
Yeah, are you sure this happened?
No, I'm not even.
I'm serious too.
Yeah, no.
Maybe it's some weird fucking.
No, it totally happened. Okay, yeah, I could feel it. Like
you want a cricket?
Like no, I think I'm good.
You're right.
But are you sure the age and stuff? Because I feel like sometimes as we get older too, we start to we'll hear pieces of things, and it'll all kind of fit in our, into a story. Sometimes in our past that sometimes can not even have happened exactly that way.
Yes. No, I mean, I know I was a shitty little league player. I remember everything exactly the way it happened. Yeah. Cool, I'm pretty good. I'm solid with that.
Sometimes they say your memories aren't a lot of times accurate. It's just how you remember it at this point in your life.
And children, you see children making out a lot. I see little children. I pulled over, there was some children making out by the street side a couple of years ago by a middle school, and I pulled over them, 2 young fellas, and they couldn't have been but 10, 11 years old, and I told them, shut it down, guys, You
told them to shut it down?
Yeah, I said, come back in a year or two, meet up here in a couple years and see what's going on, But at this age, it just seemed like there's no...
They're growing up a lot faster these days, Theo.
Yeah, maybe that's true.
Trying to avoid that peanut allergy.
Yeah. Well, these dudes were going after it. They were hunting some almond milk, it looked like, out there.
It's the 10 and the 4, the age difference. That's crazy.
Right after
you do learn that little kids will experiment and do whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old, that's just beyond wrong.
I've seen children making out or seen them in bed, walked in and there's 2 kids in bed and you're like, all right, guys, let's shut it down, Usually I would say something like that.
Shut it down, police. So you're coming upon a lot of fucking children making out.
Where are these kids making out?
Fuck, man. Just nephews and stuff like that. You come upon them and...
Shut it down.
Let's shut it down, guys.
Shut it down, guy.
My buddy's dad told us pole to pole or hole to hole. That's what he said one time. First time I stayed at my buddy's house, the dad came back in. We were sharing a queen bed, me and my best friend, 11. Dad said goodnight. Came back in about 5 seconds later. He goes, now you fellas can sleep pole to pole or hole to hole, but no sleeping pole to hole. And we couldn't even figure it out.
No wonder why you had cock blocking the 11-year-old.
I always did head to foot, and I'm like, this motherfucker's dogs are 69. Barking.
It was always head to foot. And why would he give you the pole to pole option?
Because that's
there's kissing, there's docking.
We're not docking. We're freaking 11 years old in Mississippi, dude.
But pole to pole,
docking.
I understand hole to hole.
We literally could not figure it out. We laid like 7 different ways, and finally, I just slept on the floor.
Now I see though why you're as you get older, you're cock blocking younger kids as well.
Shut it down, fellas.
Can you imagine those kids? What's the first experience you had as a gay kid? Well, when I was like 11, I was making out, and some handsome like 20-ish guy came up and told us to quit it. We were being too affectionate on the streets.
You need a shut it down app.
Yeah, man.
You gotta get an app going. Shut it down.
I don't know, man. It's wild.
All right, we should take a break. I got to catch up a little bit. Got some live reads. Mike Calta's in studio, just hanging out.
God, is he barely
doing the tourist thing? Watch out for ISIS this weekend.
I'm good there. Yeah, I'm trained.
Are you doing the parade?
Oh, fuck no. I did that once, and I'm done now.
Parade's not bad.
Yeah, too many people.
If you have kids especially, it's not bad.
We did it one time from Tony's wife's office building. It was right there on the parade route. I watched it from inside.
Oh, that's perfect.
Is that the way to do it?
Never do that again.
I want to watch it somewhere.
I did it. I did it from Universal. That was when Steve Irwin was still alive.
Oh, wow.
My daughter loved Steve Irwin, and we watched him go by on the float. It was cool.
He got murdered by an animal, didn't he?
Yeah, sad.
Stingray.
Oh.
But Universal used to let artists on the roster watch from their office because it goes right by.
I want to watch it somewhere, but I don't know if I want to be out on the street. I'm going to be cold. Maybe I'll find a woman off Tinder or something. You guys on Tinder or not?
I'm married, so it's kind of hard.
You call it Tinder?
Tinder, yeah. The dating app.
You're looking for your Tinderella?
Where you meet somebody for sex or friendship? You know
How do you do on that? Yeah, I know what it is. I wish to God I
thought
could
you
get
were
on
trying to
it.
be good with all that
I'm
stuff.
trying to, but now I'm lonely.
Pull it up right now. Can I do? Let me do some hearts on there.
I don't have any apps on right now.
Oh no,
I have them on, but I don't have any activated.
He's not masturbating, and he's not like
really.
I'm just dealing with being.
He's trying not to
lonely.
masturbate.
It's a holidays.
Why?
What does your profile say? Does it say
he wants parade route Tinder?
Yeah. What's your bio on there?
His profile says no pole to pole.
No, we could go hole to hole.
We could go hole to hole, but no pole to pole.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay off then, I guess. But I'm thinking about it.
Why?
You know?
Why would you not take full advantage of that?
Because I'm trying to.
What's the goal?
Just keep my act, because I feel like I'm having trouble getting into a relationship because I'm just always just skeeving
If you
around.
would have just put a thing on Tinder that says looking for a nice lady to watch the parade with, boom, love, right there. The girls would fall in love with that shit.
You think?
Oh, hell yeah. Especially when you're good looking. Yeah. Dude, I used to fucking have to get chicks from AOL chat rooms. I never had any of these apps. Dude, you don't know what they look like until they show up and you look through the peephole and you're like, well, fuck it, she came here and let her in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I met a girl at a gas station one time. I took the bus to get there. And I was like,
You took a bus to a gas station to meet a girl?
Did.
Oh, she did.
She took a bus like 4 hours, and I did not like her when I met her.
What'd you do?
Brought her back to the house. I had to.
There you go. There you go.
I had to, and my folks were like, "What's going on here?" And I was like, "Oh, just a friend visiting," and I couldn't even remember her name.
So when's the last time you got a Tinder girl?
Oh, it hadn't been that long. Probably maybe 4 months ago. I dated a girl off of
that's
Tinder.
so long.
Yeah.
Oh, you wouldn't date them, but like if you're in if I'm a comedian, and I'm in a different city every week. I'd try to do that every week.
Yeah, but then you get caught up in that universe, and it just gets dirty.
Yeah,
and
Theo's
lewd.
trying to be good.
And I'm trying to get a wife one day.
How
man.
old are you?
36.
Oh yeah, you need to hurry up with that. Sorry, you look a lot younger.
No, I'm an adult male, and this is it. You know,
He wants girls to be adults.
Yeah, I want an
He's
adult
looking for
woman.
an adult woman
You
right
look
now.
like Tom Brady's little brother.
I'm tired of busing these women, across the bridge or whatever, just to do a little bit of skeet work in the afternoon and then sending them home.
I got
tired of living like that.
Theo, what do you got, man? What's your plug?
Oh Christ, I don't know,
Tinder.
dude.
He wants somebody to go to the
parade
rap Tinder.
No, I'll be in Palm Beach, Florida.
Yeah, there you go.
If you want to pray for me silently, you can also do that, man. And just lift my spirit up, But otherwise, I'll be in Palm Beach December 9th through 11th.
All right, Tony Burton.
I'm here.
Jesus.
And the Cuban one, Eric's telling me?
Yeah.
Nice.
He won $30,000 for the Alzheimer's Association.
All right. Did you watch last night?
I watched a little bit. I got to watch the rest. It's on my DVR.
Yeah. I told him I watched. Jamey Jasta, where are you going to be?
February 18th.
What? That's as good as watching.
No, that's worse.
It's as good as watching when you give someone a text and go, hey, man, you were really good last night on the TV.
And then you admit you didn't on the air.
What show was it?
I have to do that.
Our friend Carl is one of the judges on Guys Grocery Games on Food Network.
Oh, right on.
And they did the Judges Edition where all the judges compete against each other. And he won $30,000 for the Alzheimer's Association because his dad's suffering. So.
Oh, that's great.
This guy, put him up on the screen. This is Carl. I call him the Mad Q.
He's got Alzheimer's?
He came in with Guy Fieri. And
that's the guy.
I didn't want to talk to Guy Fieri. I wanted to talk to him. Going back to what you said earlier.
You passed
and
on
now
Guy.
we've become friends, and he does great radio.
That's what he said.
And now he's doing really good TV on the Food Network. So.
And he's doing good things, too, man. Alzheimer's is a big thing, man. We got to shut it down,
Fecal transplant will probably help. You never know.
You got shit for brains? Let's do it.
You got to replace that shit for brains.
Dude, I'll let somebody spray a turd into my ear if it helps me calm down a little bit in the afternoon.
There goes your Tinder.
I am so lonely.
And let's segue into February 18th, Amarillo, Texas. It's called the Ink Life Tour. Hatebreed and OTEP. Tickets available at inklifetour.com.
All right. We'll
protect our borders while you're down there.
Back with a full house. Jamey Jasta from Hatebreed. Tony Burton just sitting there. Mike Calta, who does a show down there in Tampa. New York guy from Staten Island.
Staten Island used to have a good venue. We used to play there.
Yeah?
We used to be able to do shows in all 5 boroughs. It was great. I wish it was like that. There should be a venue.
They don't have a venue in Staten Island anymore?
No, I'm sure they still do. I think Biohazard. I think Biohazard played there last year.
Yeah. Give me another fact about Staten Island we wouldn't know. You said the world's largest.
Paul Castellano lived there, the mafia godfather that John Gotti killed.
Yes.
The guy who shoved the broomstick, the cop who shoved the broomstick up the other guy's ass. I went to high school with him, Justin Volpe.
Steven Seagal.
Steven
Seagal's from Staten Island.
We edited our DVD at his old place.
Nice.
Still got his stuff in there.
What's
the nicest thing you could say about Staten Island?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. I haven't been there in so long. I don't even go there, ever.
Right. We know Pete Davidson hates it. That's what started this, E-Rock.
Why does he hate it so much?
And he's getting a lot of attention for his Trump thing, too.
Why? What happened?
You like Pete Davidson for going after your boy?
First of all, I like Pete Davidson a lot.
I love Pete Davidson.
He speaks
his mind.
He is such a lying fuck. I can't wait to get him back on the show. I was hoping to God he would be here today.
Why is he a lying fuck?
So I'm a huge fan, and I'm happy to see a guy from Staten Island make it big and all that. Yeah. So he comes to Tampa to the Improv. And I got him booked to come on my show, and I'm really excited because he's a guy that I'm looking forward to.
Sure.
And he blows it off. The night before, his agent calls my producer and says, Pete's got Crohn's really bad, and he can't come in. And I was like, oh, come fuck on. All he's going to do is come and sit there. We got toilets. He can go shit whenever he wants. And he's like, yeah, he really wants to, and he's really, don't be mad at him. Don't bury him. So I was like, all right, well, he'll do a phoner. And I'm like, okay, well, I like the guy, so let's do the phoner. And the phoner's shitty because phoners are always shitty. And it was terrible. And when it was done, then I went to see him that night, which is very rare. I lie to all the comedians, and I go, I'm going to see you, and I don't show up. But I went to that show.
I love saying that.
And then he was on stage, and he goes, so this morning, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan, so I was going to get up really early and drive to Universal to go there. I almost stood up in his act and went, you fucking liar. What happened to your Crohn's disease, you liar?
Or maybe he was doing the bit.
No.
Maybe that was a fake bit.
He wanted to go to Harry Potter Land, and he woke up too late to go, and that's what he was bitching about that day. And
Who
I
had
was
Crohn's?
like... Pete.
See, he needs the fecal.
Right.
He needs the transplant, bro.
He gets none of my shit. I ain't giving him any of my shit.
Let's get him on here.
He's got to take it orally, right?
Shit mouth. I
like Pete.
I like Pete. I think he's very funny. I think he's great on the show.
Him.
Yeah.
But he could have been exaggerating for his act.
No.
Maybe he really had the crow.
He really wanted to go to Harry Potter.
But he had a Harry Potter joke he wanted to get out.
No, it wasn't even a funny joke. It was just a story about his day, about how he went to Harry Potter. Yeah. And then he's always wearing the scarf and the wand and shit. He's a real Harry Potter fan.
Yeah.
So,
what did Pete say? It's all over the place now. SNL, go back to the... What? Pete? Paul, I mean?
Well, he originally posted Trump's tweet about SNL.
Right.
And he had a caption saying, fuck you to him. And he deleted the caption of it.
Delete the
on
tweets?
Instagram.
He deleted?
He deleted his comment, but he left the post.
Right. What did he say about it again? SNL star Pete Davidson says, fuck you to Donald Trump over criticism. I think he said, fuck you, bitch.
It's a unique take.
Something like that, right?
Yeah, fuck you, bitch.
Fuck you, bitch. He swears that Donald Trump can't read.
That's hilarious.
He swears by it. He told the whole story on the show. We got a video of it, actually. You can tweet it out to the people. He said when he was on SNL that he had a tough time reading.
Hey, even De Niro can't read a cue card. And you know De Niro could read.
I just thought it was hilarious that Pete Davidson's claiming that Donald Trump can't read.
It's hilarious.
It's huge for SNL because that hasn't been on my radar in years, and I watched it recently. I would never have watched it.
Yeah.
Right.
So and they should have him on more because he's probably one of the funniest people on there.
Well, he hosted.
Pete Davidson?
I mean, Donald Trump hosted. Oh, you mean Pete Davidson should be on more? Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
The one guy who's kind of like a Belushi type guy is good too.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Bobby Moynihan?
Moynihan. But I mean, they had one song on there. It was trying to be kind of like an Adam Sandler song. It was bad. I was like, this is terrible. But then there was some really funny skits.
I think SNL's been pretty good this year.
I got to check it out. My daughter loves it. So
I got to tone it. Yes, Tony?
I was going to say, thank you, Opie.
You really had his mic on?
That's so hurtful. By the way, you were the one who said, Tony, sit down.
Well, you're still sitting down.
All right. And so the ratings have been through the roof, obviously, since Alec Baldwin. That's what's done it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's great at it. He's great at it. This opening skit this last weekend was hilarious. I mean, his Trump is going to be funnier for the next 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And they'll be using them. All right. Donald Trump prepares cold open. All right. We're done with SNL. And we're done with Staten Island, I guess. And we're done with
probiotics.
Done with probiotics. Done with fucking vitamins.
Been through a lot.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
I'm going to my brother's.
Wow. The one you like?
Yeah. I'm one of 7, so I like most.
Do you like who? So his sisters you don't like?
No, I like both sisters. It's 5 boys, 2 girls.
So who you said you were like?
I don't even dislike it. I don't even dislike anyone. I'm just not talking to one.
Why?
I don't know.
She
never
stopped
told me
talking
why.
to you?
Huh?
She stopped talking to you? He.
Yeah.
He just stopped talking to you?
Uh-huh.
And you don't ask? You're like, what?
No, we're not that type of family. We suck at
brush it under the rug.
We suck at communications in our family. So I don't know why I do this for a living.
How did you get out of going to the wife's Thanksgiving side?
We do Christmas down there and Halloween. Thanksgiving's always been ours.
Okay.
So you don't have any...
I got married 8 years ago today, by the way.
Congrats. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. On the anniversary of JFK's
You're getting
death.
late tonight.
JFK's death. That's when we got married.
Or did you get laid before? Because you were up early. I saw you tweeting. You got a little anniversary action. That's why you're all laid back.
How long do you have sex with your wife after you get married? Is it always?
What?
Like how long after you get married?
Every day.
No.
Every day.
That's a fucking lie.
Good for you.
That's crazy, huh?
Good for fucking
Who is this
you.
acrobat over here? Huh?
Wow. It's not. It doesn't end when you get married. It ends when you have kids. It doesn't end, but it becomes a little bit slower.
Tougher.
Yeah.
What about a dog? Do you let the dog in the bed?
Oh, I wouldn't give a fuck about the dog.
Because the dog, that shuts it down. The dog is terrible. Blocking you in the bed, in the middle. Don't ever let the dog sleep in the bed.
Yeah, I shared a bed with a woman in a huge Doberman named Kobe, actually. This is probably about 9 years ago over there in Philadelphia.
Uh-huh.
Annette, I think was her name. Annette, if you're out
You remember
there.
the dog's name and you had to think of her name?
Yeah.
You had no doubt about the dog's name.
His dog was big.
That dog gave you some loving.
No, I remember that dog.
Shut her down.
The dog was in between me and her all night. Huge dog.
Why was it named Kobe?
I don't know, and I didn't ask, man.
So you and your brother don't, I mean, the one you don't talk to, you don't have like that uncomfortable moment where you go,
No, he lives on the West Coast now.
But he won't be there for
I
Thanksgiving?
haven't talked to him in, I don't know, I'm trying to remember, about 6 years, I guess.
Holy shit. Whoa. Let's call
6
him.
years. I had a second kid. He never congratulated me on that. And I don't even know what his problem is.
You have to know just something.
But
You can have my seat.
I don't know. No, I
There was
haven't.
no, like,
I have
no defining
I have no
event.
fucking idea. That is the God's honest truth. I have
mad
no
at
fucking
something.
idea.
6
Whatever.
years.
whatever. Maybe someday he'll get over and
that's good when you
tell
have
me.
5 other siblings and you're like, fuck him.
You know, it makes it a little easier.
But always one's going to be
because it's hard to keep in touch with everyone anyway. So if you're on the outs with one, it just cuts down the time.
Yeah, I got you.
There's always something going on in a large family.
Didn't your dad's church promote communication and love for one another?
Is he coming in? We got Nick Diaz coming in?
Yeah,
huh?
Yeah, he texted me back.
And you know him pretty well?
No, I met him once before, but I saw him on the street and said, hey, if you want to do Opie and then come do the podcast, I'd love to have you on. And
nice, man.
And
we got to figure out where Theo's going to...
I can give him my seat, Ope.
Yeah, or he can sit here.
Yeah, I might slip. I might hit a meeting.
He's the one that should give up his seat.
I'm happy to.
He hasn't given us anything.
Well, I can.
He's talking about how great Alec Baldwin is as Trump.
But he needs that, or I was going to get him laid.
Listen, you chuckled at the church joke, right?
Yeah, that was fun. No, I like Tony Blair.
I'll take a back seat. I'll just sit and listen. I want this guy to be able to talk too. I know everybody's excited.
It's all good because we got to find a place for you to see the parade.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we put the word out. Maybe someone's got a good location.
Got to be a girl listening.
I'm thinking you need a window like 5 stories up.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Real fancy? Just a chair. I can
chair
bring
in a
my
window,
own hot
right?
chocolate or whatever. Yeah.
Or do you want a rooftop?
I don't want to sell.
They go rooftop too.
Ooh, that sounds
cold. Does it
cold
still go down
up there.
6th Avenue? The parade?
Yeah.
I just
goes down 6th Avenue.
I got to find richer
Central
friends.
Park West to Columbus Circle, down 6th Avenue.
My friends are all just derelicts and just poor.
So you should see the parade at least once.
I'm going to get out there. I'm definitely going to get out there. What time do you get out there? About 6:30?
No.
Go uptown though, because they don't stop. They just march right the fuck.
That's
past
what I
you.
want. I want to come and
then
go.
they slow it down for Macy's.
Come and go, man. Like my father's love.
Fuck Macy's.
Where do we watch it at then? Where do you recommend? Upper West Side?
Yeah, Central Park.
So what time should I get there?
You know where you should go? Go with Kobe.
Go high.
Kobe will fucking have a ball.
Big Doberman.
Ready? Go high 70s, Central Park West.
Here's the other thing you can do. If
Climb a tree, bro.
Yeah?
Get in a tree.
Like the YouTube video. Get on one of those stop signs.
Oh, that'd be dope, huh?
on Wednesday night, you can go to the Upper West Side and watch them getting blown up.
Yeah.
So you don't have to see the parade. You can actually they'll blow them up all the night before.
Yeah, I don't want to see all the forensics behind it. I just want to be
Then
out
he
there.
skips a parade.
I've gone. It's a
horrible.
madhouse. It's horrible how many people go and try to do that.
Yeah, I don't want to see a bunch of people. Yeah, I want to see the action. I want to see it going down the street.
People go just for the inflation?
Yeah. He does.
They're all like laying on the ground, fully inflated, ready to go.
That's where I used to live.
And it used to be a thing where people, New Yorkers, just kind of realized that's what was going on and they did it, but now it's a whole thing. They have corrals and you get in a corral and then you zig and zag for a long fucking time past the balloons, and then they send you like 10 blocks away to get you away from the crowd.
So who's like
it's a pain in the balls to do now.
What's like the top 5 best ones? Like you want to see like Bart, you want to see Clifford, like who do you want to see in the floats? You want to see Snoopy? Is there
Rosie?
Snoopy?
I don't think I could name 5 balloons at this point.
No?
Very good.
No.
Bart Simpson's got to be one.
Yep. I guess.
Yeah.
Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yep.
I guess.
Rosie O'Donnell.
No, nothing Disney, right? It's all...
It's 90s themed. I saw the billboard.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, a lot of peanuts.
So,
a lot of peanuts.
Buddy Ebsen,
Snoopy.
our boy.
Dora.
Buddy Ebsen.
Little Dora action.
Dora the
probably.
Explorer.
Yeah,
You got to have
90s,
diversity.
Kermit the Frog, he's a big float, and he's still out
When did
Kermit.
he started in what, the
Classic.
20s? 30s?
there. Kermit in the 20s?
When did Kermit start?
In 1960-ish, it was Jim Henson.
They're not going to like go modern, like new, like get some Pokemon in there.
Yeah,
like,
they always have something. They always have like one.
I'm sure they have a Pokemon.
they got to, right?
Well, they always do. They try to update that stuff. Yeah. It's all right. What are you doing for Thanksgiving, Jamie?
I wish I knew. We can't.
You don't know?
We can't make plans. It's like, it's a moving target, and it's really.
It's in 2 days.
No, it's not.
I know,
It's
and
not.
it's like my mother had a concrete thing. She's like 2:00, everybody be here. But then it's like, well, I gotta see this person and that person. I gotta do this. I'm just like, just put me in a car and just point me where I gotta go. But I'm doing the race.
Wait, who has to see all the people you want?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right.
I just want to. I want to.
You're the famous one. Don't you just make them come to you? Don't you have the nicer house?
No. This is the thing. Like, I get treated like Gene Simmons on Family Jewels. Like, just no respect. Like the Rodney Dangerfield of hardcore.
Right.
Just no respect. But I will say this: the race. Like, I'll go do the race, and it's early, I think. But now every race is different because it's the security concerns, right? So they have like a seating area, and I'm not going to be running fast, so I'm going to be like the last person to cross the finish line, and I want to say it's a 10K.
What are y'all racing for?
You know what? This is a good question. I thought it was a charity thing, so I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I did it a bunch of years ago, and I remember it being just like more of like a fraternity kind of like drinking vibe, like everybody's still up the night before.
Oh wow,
it's
partying, huh?
I don't know, but there was people like chugging beers on people's lawns, and you're running through this neighborhood, and so by the time we get done with that race, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm going to have to go to like 5 different places.
Oh, fuck that.
And it's going to be a mess because of this family is big.
It's on Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Oh my
It's a mess. I should have just said, look, we're going to my mother's at 2 and that's it.
And then that's it. And maybe go squeeze out dessert somewhere.
Right.
But not 5.
I'd sprain your ankle and wake up late, player. That's what I would do.
Well, my daughter didn't want to do the race and she was in. She's like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll walk it or I'll go slow and I'll meet you at the end or whatever. And then she heard all the different, the aunt wants to meet here. This one doesn't eat that. This one can't cook this here because this turkey's getting cooked there. They can't have cross-contamination. This one's got this other plan. And so then my daughter was like, I'm out. I'm done. Just
cross-contamation. What's that about?
Because vegans, here's the thing with a vegan Thanksgiving. See, you guys don't know. Because you either you don't have a close vegan or you've never dealt with this.
Who's a close vegan?
I don't want to get into it. But like I just want
it's not your wife or your daughter.
Well,
who gives a fuck?
It's someone obviously very close to him.
Well, here's the thing.
So.
But that's neither here nor there. That's irrelevant. There's just multiple people.
The vegans fucking things up for you. It is very relevant. And once you recognize that, you could solve your problems.
Well, because then it gets into a deeper conversation. Like all right, well, you are what you eat. All right, so we're eating a fucking slow, dumb bird, right?
Turkey.
So right, then I get the tradition thing. So then I'm like, I really start
eat a bald eagle.
No, I was gonna eat fucking mashed potatoes and whatever else. I was like, you're right. I don't even need to do this. I don't even need to go.
It sounds like you're the issue. It sounds like you're the one that has all the problems with everything.
They talked you out of the turkey?
Oh yeah. I'm not having turkey.
Not even that
you don't even have Thanksgiving. No wonder why you don't have plans.
Turkey's not that great.
No, I'm gonna have fucking tofu or something.
Oh man,
so back in the day,
they invented Thanksgiving because no one was eating the turkeys.
Really?
Is that true?
Yeah. Look it up.
It's a slow, dumb
They
animal.
realized, what the fuck, all these turkeys, no one's buying them at the store.
You see them when they walk in the road?
Thanksgiving.
Trump's going to make you eat turkeys. Yep. Trump's going to make America great again.
Supermarket sweep. Hopefully he'll bring that back. Supermarket sweep. That's making America great again.
Oh, your Cuban friend will do well on that.
Is it even that good? Does it taste
Turkey
good?
Stinks.
Turkey's good if you do it
No,
the
it's
right
not
way.
good. You put a lot of salt and pepper on, a lot of gravy, and then it's good.
Butter, don't forget butter.
My brother's, I go to my brother's, and he tapped out of the turkeys, like roast beef and all sorts of steaks.
There you go.
He's like, fuck it. We still get to hang out as a family, but let's eat properly. That turkey blows.
You should make one just for show.
I think he does have a little turkey for the traditionalist, but he knows. He runs a restaurant.
Get a little slice of show bird.
I went by
So he's like, let's eat the real shit, man.
I went by a falafel place on Thanksgiving just in my travels, and it was packed. There was a line down the street. Wow. I was like, you know what? Fuck it, stop. This is probably like 8-9 years ago.
Yeah.
And then we had the falafel. It was amazing. I didn't even need to eat the turkey after.
Nick Diaz.
What's up?
What's up, Nick? How's it going? What's going on, man?
Yeah, he will.
I heard you ran to Jamey Jasta downstairs.
Yeah, I was like, come on up. Come to Opie Radio.
How are you, buddy?
Are you in town for Thanksgiving, or are you just here to promote an event? You don't have a fight, right?
No.
Everybody wants to know that.
Yeah, no, I just came out here for the 205.
Did you get tickets?
No, I didn't get tickets. They did not give me any tickets.
All right.
They were rude with tickets.
Well, because I was really mad. We've done a lot of UFC on this show, and Dana White helped them yell and scream about UFC not being in New York. And the only time I asked for tickets was for the MSG 205 because it's in my backyard, and I got shut down. Then I read an article that the Diaz brothers didn't get tickets. Then I felt a little better about my situation.
Yeah, they've been funny about letting me into these events lately. In my brother's fight too. They didn't let me in my brother's fight.
Wow.
So that was kind of
what was that about again?
I mean, it's like it's like just 1 inch. You know what I mean? Like that's the difference between how that fight could have gone and like as far as I'm concerned, I was definitely would have been that inch.
What, are they afraid you're going to do a run-in?
No, but I worked the corner.
Yeah.
And they just wanted to keep me out of there. They know that wasn't gonna it would have definitely helped him out a lot. I mean,
were they worried you were going to?
I was seeing things in that fight that I would have called and told him.
Right.
Like, I was seeing things that he wasn't seeing because I do these things and I know how they work out for me. And it's kind of like a formula. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, hey, look, this is what you do. And come, third and fourth round, I think that if I'd have been there, we would have been able to put it together and
right,
got that guy out of there.
Especially your brother's insides, because no one's going to know that as much as a brother.
And the thing is Melendez is there, and you know what I mean? The thing is about Melendez is he's great. He's really smart. He knows what he's looking at, but they're training partners, and so they're like kind of opposites stylistically because he's more of a wrestler and he goes on top. So the things that like Gilbert would tell him to do is more of like what Gilbert would do.
Yeah.
And, like what I would tell him to do is more of what he would do. So I'm not saying that it wasn't helping having Gilbert there telling him to do the wrong stuff. Gilbert wasn't necessarily telling him to do the wrong stuff. He just, wasn't going to see the things that I was seeing. So that was kind of rough. It's hard enough to watch the fight.
Wow.
Being there, and I'm watching on TV, I can't do anything. I'm like...
Was it because of the bottle throwing at the press conference, or what was the reason why you couldn't?
The commission, I was still kind of under suspension too. Like, are they want me to pay some kind of a fine or make sure that my fine's paid off before they give me a corner's license, so I can't be within 30 rows back or something like that. So they never let me on the floor. They didn't let me on the arena. I could have at least been in the back. And working with him before he walked out, like I did the first fight.
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah,
where did you watch it?
Where did I watch it? I watched it in James Ballingy had a room. Yeah, the MGM Grand had a villa over there, so he had just a bunch of his people in there. They're all watching it, and then I didn't want to be there because I'm going to go in there and I'm going to be freaking out the whole time around all these, really. Expensive people everywhere. Yeah. And they're like they don't know who I am or nothing. Nah. They're just there for James. So I'm like, okay. But
was it hard?
It was rough. Yeah, it was rough. I thought he had him out of there for sure at one point in time, third round, I guess. And I was like, that's just no way you're coming back from that.
Right.
Have you watched it again? Like, what was it that you would have told him?
Well, I would have told him not to throw punches at that dude at all because he's gonna sit there and watch you and try to counter everything. So all you do is fake at him and flick at him and fuck with him, and that's how you do that. But he went out there and just he just didn't have it together in the first round. I think I could have clicked him into the right mindset. Plus me standing in front of him, fooling around with him and standing in front of him with my right hand forward. We all three stand the same way. Oh. So he doesn't have anybody else like that to kind of work with him. And I just think that it would have definitely helped out having me there a little bit. But
how hard is it after all that shit talking in the beginning when it's over to have to hug that guy and say, hey, man, good job? It's
all, it's whatever. By the time you're done with 5 rounds, you're pretty spent everything you had. It's like, okay, what else? I mean, it's like a weird camaraderie. It really doesn't mean anything. It's just like right on.
It's some good shit talking.
Good fight. I hate you, but good fight. No. I mean, not even like that. It's really nothing.
Fights have been ridiculous.
That was the best fight I've ever seen, though.
Right. Yeah, you say, hey, see you at Croke Park, 100,000 paid. I mean, can you do it? Would you guys go to Ireland and do it? I mean, that's got to be for part 3. It's got to be crazy.
In Ireland?
Yeah.
I suppose. I mean,
there's got to be a third fight sooner than later.
Yeah,
I would assume that would be pretty soon.
We want to see you versus GSP.
Yeah,
get that rematch. Yeah. When can we see that?
I don't know, when he's ready to fight. I doubt that he's really being serious about. Like I say 2 things. I'm on this show right now, and then everybody's talking about it. Like he's just barely says anything about coming back, and everybody's like, oh, he's coming back. So I don't. You never know which.
So you're saying he's afraid to fight you?
I think anybody's afraid to fight me. I mean, they got to be stupid. I'm afraid to fight anybody too.
I'm afraid to sit right here.
I'm not afraid to say that I'm not afraid to fight somebody. Right. I'm like, okay, you're gonna pay me. I'm not gonna enjoy it. That's where we get into this huge controversy. Oh, I just love what no. This is a curse. And then I wound up in the guy for the job, and it's just what it is. So we'll deal with it. And I'm either going to go out there and get kicked around now, or maybe I'm kicking myself later. Like, I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
But out of all the fighters, you're one. You're one of these guys that win or lose, your real estate doesn't go down.
Well,
everybody supports you even more.
I've never lost the fight that I'm fighting. So I've lost. You got a guy that either going to run away or hold on. But if you come out and fight me, they know they're not a better fighter, so they can't really go there.
Yeah.
And people know what they're looking at. They're not stupid. So
You fuck people up in high school?
I was never like the picking on people or anything like that. It was more the other way around. I was a little insecure. I was broke. I was on welfare. I was getting dropped off from the corner. My mom dropped me off down the street. She's driving a shitty car.
It embarrassed me too.
Yeah, I fucking
feel that.
And I wouldn't go to school unless like my clothes looked right or something. I was like really like,
insecure.
I had a really hot girlfriend in high school, and I would get in fights over that. And then by the time I got into high school, I was moved around a lot of schools, so I was getting in fights in high school over that. And then I had bad attendance, and they put me on some half day thing where they're like, okay, you're dangerous, you're on a half day, and we want you to make perfect attendance before you can come back to a full day, and we're going to escort you from class to class. I'm like, I'm already embarrassed and insecure enough to be in school. I'm getting in
That's
fights
pretty
all the time.
impressive though, man. Be escorted from class to class.
Like, it was a weird, and then my mom, she was kind of a pushover. She wasn't like gonna go like, hey, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? So I just basically just had no shot at doing well in school. So I dropped out sophomore year and started competing in jiu-jitsu. I wanted to wrestle in high school, but I didn't. Didn't really work out like that because I didn't have the attendance.
Do you feel like you'd have missed your calling though? Like you could have, like in that sport, you would have done amazing in wrestling.
I think I would have done great. I mean,
the wrestling coach has to be crying that this guy didn't have attendance to get him on the team.
The thing about wrestling, I wasn't a very strong guy, and I wasn't a very fast learner when it came to wrestling. Because in jiu-jitsu, a guy wrestles you down, and then you learn jiu-jitsu from the bottom, anyways. So I learned wrestling a lot better after I understood how to to defend myself on being on bottom, which wasn't hard because they always throw me on bottom. I was 15 years old. You had a bunch of wannabe pro bodybuilders, football players, and pro wrestling. Everybody's doing pro wrestling thing back in the day, and a lot of those guys try to transition over. So I always had different looks in the gym, when it came, like strong guys, steroids. That's why you would get into doing mixed martial arts or fighting, because you're strong or something, or maybe you did some other sports, so someone would make this. I was already doing martial arts, and I was already getting in fights, and I actually went to go train to learn how to fight better. So when I end up in a fight over my girlfriend or over whatever kind of nonsense, whatever gangster bullshit I had was going on back then, like I was gonna get the better of it. And then I started having real confidence when I was like, I'd come home, tell my friends, I'm like, yo, dude, I just tapped out this guy. He's like buff, I'm like, dude, I would choke your dad. You don't understand. And they would be like, that's when I was infatuated. Like,
I would choke your dad?
Yeah. We're 14.
Yeah, I'll fuck your dad up, man.
Yeah, I'll fucking whoop your dad's ass. And
it's nicer than saying I'll choke your mom. That's for sure.
But, I was fanatical about it then.
Yeah.
Once I turned pro, it was over. I was like, okay, this sucks. I got to fight again in a couple weeks here. I'm going to be training and losing weight.
I'd be like, Nick, can you tell my dad I want to go out this weekend?
37 fights, 17 years later, all I was thinking about was weight. What am I going to eat? Make 170 from 195. After a while, you realize there's more to life.
How close did you come to just being wrong, where you were on the, out on the streets and not competing and making something of your life?
Well, I never, I was really versed when it came to like the dope game. You know what I mean? Like I never got into that. I was always smoking a little weed, but I never got into. Everybody's parents were dealing dope, and their house was a meth lab or something on every. There's I grew up next to a trailer park. Like half of the park was like meth labs.
Where did you go?
Over Stockton, Lodi, California.
I just broke down there. We had a tire go flat on the bus, and I got out, and I was like Stockton. I was like, I'm like, where's the Diaz brothers? Right. And we walked down to find some civilization because we're off the highway. And these dudes pulled up and they were like, yo, you don't want to be walking over here. Where are you guys? Are you guys broken down in that tour bus? And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, imagine you just broke down there. Imagine you growing up there. That'd be crazy.
Come back and there's nothing left of your bus.
Yeah, you know what? It's actually a really nice place to live as long as you understand. Like, you're not going to, just because you're in Stockton doesn't mean you want to go downtown. Nobody goes downtown. There's the courthouse. There's, it's kind of grimy over downtown, but on the north side of town, towards Lodi, it's kind of nice. Like I live in an area over there. It's called Murata, and it's a lot of trees and stuff. It's older houses. My mom rented a house over there, like a three bedroom house, 1 bathroom. We're all 5 living in it, and it was a shitty place. It was like my neighbors had nice houses, but at least she got us onto the onto the nice side of the freeway. Yeah,
right.
So and I'd always hang out there. All my friends, they all grew up around there. Some nicer nicer houses. And so when before I did my last fight, I stuck to game plan and just bought a house over there.
Nice.
So that's cool, man.
Is it true you swam Alcatraz?
Yeah. No, I do a lot of triathlon. I usually do like anywhere from I want to say 8 to 12 races a season since I was 18. I was a swimmer. My mom put me in swimming, and a little bit of karate. So I got to,
that's a hell of a triathlon.
Yeah, thanks
Swimming
to her.
And karate.
You didn't have to punch a shark or anything.
I did a little bit of BMX, so I knew how to take apart a bike and change a tire. I wasn't stupid when it came to bikes. So, and my grandfather's a track coach. They named a track at Don Womble Field after him, and he was always, a track coach. I get in trouble at school. I'd go and make me run, and so. Yeah, I had some good family. So, she
knew you might have to escape one day from Alcatraz.
Yeah. Is your mom tough? Is she a tough lady?
As far as falling off and joining the whole dope game and the gangster scene and all that, I just knew better. You know what I mean? Like,
So your mom raised you right?
Yeah, so
somewhere in there.
Well, somewhere in there. Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
No, she did it really. I mean, I really, owe her the world. But the thing is, everybody else's parents were like selling dope. They were going to school with nice clothes. I was like, what? And my mom's like working, 8-hour days at a restaurant for 30 years. So I wasn't.
But single mom?
Single mom.
Where was your dad?
He was cooking. He was in the picture, in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cool with
they're
him
fine.
now?
They're fine now. Yeah, they live together. I mean,
that's cool.
It is what it is.
Did it frustrate you to see the kids with nice clothes, knowing how they were getting their
driving
clothes?
cars when they turned 16 drove me crazy. I just wanted to fight everybody on account of that. Then when it came my job, I was like, shit. But I mean, at least I was.
Can you talk about Alcatraz? I want to go back to Jamey Jasta. So you swam Alcatraz?
Yeah. So there's a triathlon. There's also a swim. It's Escape from the Rock triathlon, Escape from Alcatraz. 2 different events, but two different. Two different people put it on, and then or promoters or whatever you call them, and then they've got a swim also as well. So I think that's starting to cost a lot of money to do that swim. So I mean, and I think the triathlon. So it's not really. It's not something that I wanted to do like every season, but I've done about 5.
How hard is it to swim?
In the last 15 years I've been racing. Like I did that one 5 times.
Right.
So the swim is 1.5 miles, and it's really a lot nicer than you think. One time it was really nice, and then a couple times it was a little bit harsh, but it was never as bad as swimming over in Santa Cruz.
It's not choppy.
People are always in the water at Santa Cruz, and they don't complain about it. But like for me, I'm like swimming around that pier in Santa Cruz is a lot harder of a swim than Alcatraz.
So you have no doubt those guys made it then?
Oh, the ones that escaped?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, how could
they always say
not? Like,
but they say over and over again that it was impossible to do the swim, but they're actually doing it every year.
Pretty sure if I had a choice of getting ass raped or swim in that water, I'd make it.
I mean, you jump in the water, and you got all these people are in the water around you, and you can hear the seagulls chirping, and it's like you can feel the sun kind of hitting you. It's nice. It's not what you'd think.
The water's not cold?
It's cold, but I mean, it's doable. I mean, people are jumping in with no wetsuits. Like I was wearing a wetsuit, of course, but I mean, there was some swimmers out there with no wetsuits, and they don't mind because they go out there and they swim over there across from Ghirardelli's.
Yeah,
that's just like a swim practice. You go there and we swim. I'm gonna go swim for an hour today. That's what I do. It's my workout.
Is the guy that
wetsuit or no wetsuit?
That's pretty amazing.
Is the guy that wins it like the OG Alcatraz dude? Like, is there like a dude who's like the hardest?
There's so many pro triathletes, and any given day they can decide to train and plan for an event, and they're going to win it. Like, you know what I mean? And you never know who that's going to be. There's tons of them. There's so many of these guys. People are like, well, you ever think about going pro? I'm getting my pro card, and there's no money in it. I'm like, everybody, it costs money to do it. Anybody who does it does triathlon is spending. Like, I've spent over. I mean, my last bike that I got stolen, worth over $10,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got stolen too. I live in Stockton. Somebody got smart and found out I had that thing, came and ripped it off when I was like in Las Vegas or something.
Could you imagine you find out that you stole his bike?
Oh, yeah. I know, I'll get you, right?
Just give it back. I'll give it back, I swear.
Wait, I stole whose bike? What? Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
How do I get it back to him immediately?
And they're trying to sell it back to me probably. I'm like, well, yeah.
As far as triathlons go, what's your best finish?
Sometimes I just have a good race. I don't get too competitive. Like this is what I do. It was just an investment I made to keep me in shape year round, so that if they call me for a fight, I'm ready to go. I'm already in shape. I'm doing this, And then if I have a fight coming up, I'm not going to race all hard. Or if I do go do a race, I'll be happy to do like a race, like 2 weeks away from a fight. It's not going to, but I'm not going to go out there and kill myself out there. I'm just going to have a nice race.
Right. So what do you do when you're not fighting financially?
This year has been really, that's why I had a slow season. It's really been screwing with me because, you know, I'm over here like making appearances, doing, you know,
seminars,
showing up at nightclubs, at, you know, and then me, you know, networking through whatever sort of. I've never been out of Stockton. Like I said, 17 years, 3 to 5 fights a year. You don't understand when you have a fight coming up in 3 months, so you're going to get 3 a year. So each 3 months you have another fight.
Right.
So when you have a fight coming up, it's like someone's out to get you. Like when it was the same thing in high school. When I was in high school, they were like, "Oh, someone's going to fuck you up today," and you're like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "Really?" Well, tell him I said fuck you. You're walking around like, yeah, you know. Then you're walking around like shit, man. Like every time you turn the corner, you're like, "Hey, yo, come with me because I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna go over here," and yeah. So it's the same. It's the same thing. Now you have a fight. Someone's talking shit. You wake up. You're like, "Fuck! What did they say today?" The media's going. It's like, it's rough. You don't really have time to deal with a lot of other stuff. That's why I said, you know, you really after a while you realize there's more to life, and you start to go, man. And I used to get real mad when people would understand things that I didn't understand, and get more money or make more money or end up on a Wheaties box. I was like, what the fuck
are they doing?
I whoop your ass. I'm like light years ahead of people. Like it's amazing. Like, okay, there's a big 4-year gap. Okay, like me and George.mp4, who actually I got in the UFC before him. But Robbie Lawler, Carl Parisian, Robbie and George are the only ones that are still like even, you know, fighting. George isn't even fighting right now.
Who bugs you the most?
4 years later, then there's a couple guys. Then Carlos Condit, which is, you know, probably the only one.
But he's done now, right? He's going to retire.
I think so. I mean, I think he should. They're just not. He doesn't have the character. He hasn't invested in the right type of character. Like I put a lot into this. Like people don't understand. Like you want to come into this like with a nice wife and a nice life. I'm like, motherfucker, I didn't get none of that. I don't get to go home to my nice wife and nice life. And if you're doing that every day and you're putting all that effort into your nice wife, I'm putting 100% into what I do. I'm gonna fuck your whole world up right in front of your nice wife and your nice life. It's not gonna be fun. You know what I mean? Like Alvarez. You know, I'm not trying to bring. You know, I'm just saying. Like, look, he ended up the guy for the job too. But now you're fighting McGregor, okay? And it's like you got so much riding on. Like, you can't act the way that I act and say the things that I'm capable to say. I've built this whole platform. I live a fight life. I can do what I want to win a fight. You have to worry about like what people are going to think about you, and then when all that goes out into the media, people start believing in the hype. They start buying into the hype. Now 100%. The people around you, including your family and everybody, starts buying into that hype too, and they start bringing nervous energy around you. And then, like, you maybe say some kind of comments or say something in the media, and then they don't really agree. They're like, oh, or let's say I get suspended or something from the athletic commission for, you know, so everybody's calling me and they're being negative about it. I'm like, no, fuck, I wanted to get suspended. Who gives a shit? I would never have had a vacation. People are telling me, oh, sorry, you know, you got suspended. And,
yeah.
And it's just negative energy, you know, it's just negativity, and you got to get it, like, you got to just ignore it.
But are you so frustrated?
When you have the whole family and a whole, like, you got too much riding on all that stuff to be able to have the freedom to do what you want, say what you want. If I want to say fuck you and look at you to your face and say, hey, fuck your mother, then that's I can do that. See, I don't have to worry about like what am I, you know, being a good role model.
That's why you're one of the biggest pay-per-view draws, and why people want to watch you fight.
That's why you and your brother are so exciting to watch.
And then people get mad at me. At the same time, I didn't know I was a role model. I didn't know I was famous like for a really long time. So when I fought George.mp4, I have like a soccer mom pulling up to me next to me at a stoplight, and she's going, I hope TSP beats her. I'm like, bitch, we're in Lodi. I'm like, we're in fucking Lodi, and I got a soccer mom coming up hoping I'm like, where's the hometown love, right? So yeah, it was rough, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm not a good role model for your children. They never gave me the opportunity to be.
Right.
So here George is like this big role model and this sport athletic endorsement guy, and they you know, he starts talking shit, going like, okay, Nick Diaz is a bad guy. Nick Diaz deserves to get beat down. And I'm starting to feel some type of way about this now, because I'm like, you know what? I just had a soccer mom pull up. I'm like, got all these. I want to be on a Wheaties box. I want to get paid for some fucking endorsements. I want them to want me to win the UFC title. They don't want me in that position. They're like, shit. So Yeah, they just anything to keep me away from that.
You don't fit what they want. You don't fit.
I don't care anymore. I'm like, I don't need the fucking belt. I negotiated pay-per-view into my contract without a title. I'm the first one to ever do that. And these motherfuckers were all pointing the finger at me, calling me stupid this whole time. Eddie Alvarez tries to copy me. And people are trying to do what I do, like basically signs with my agency that I went and found on my own. I left Stockton and was like, okay, in nightclubs and moving around, talking to industry, talking to everybody that's somebody. But once I realized, like, okay, this is, how do we get in here? How do we go there? I didn't know what to wear. This is 3 years ago. I'm like, I didn't know what, how to get into a nightclub. I'm like, what the fuck? Why don't you let me and my friends in? I was out on the scrubs. I mean, I had to cut my circle short. It costed me a lot of money, a lot of moving around. I came to a lot of real understandings, and now I get it. And now that I get it, I'm fucking pretty pissed. I'm like, dude, this is. I could have known all this shit when I was 20 years old.
Now? Yeah.
Like they were trying to put me on blind date, and I knew better. I'm very intuitive. I'm like, I don't belong on this blind date. They're gonna put me. I'm 20 years old. They're gonna put me across from some hot LA girl that's just totally hip to everything, and I'm this ignorant 20-year-old that doesn't. Just because I am here around people who don't make any money, and they don't see me going anywhere. The people that are going somewhere are already it's old money. It's like they're ready to they're taking over their parents' business, and then the ones that make it out of there, then they get if they don't get knocked up or sewed up, then they leave, and then they live in San Diego or somewhere.
Right.
And I just
crazy. I relate so much to that childhood you're talking about, man. It's the exact environment I was
fighting
in.
your way
and
out.
I don't feel like it's rough out there, but wait, it's not so.
Hope.
Yeah, when you're out there, it's not like super rough, like when you think, like it's there's hard parts of town. You're not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. What's rough is nobody comes to you. So there is no opportunity there. And I was like, okay, when I fight and I win, and when I fight and when I win, I'm going to have opportunities come to me. No. You need to go.
You still got to go get them.
Yeah, if I wasn't here right now, I'd be in Stockton. I wouldn't be on this show right now. So, it's just, you got to get the hell out of there. And when you have a fight coming up in 3 months, you're going to go to a nice, warm, safe place that you're used to, where you train, and you don't want to change what works.
Right. I noticed the UFC, there's more shit talking going on. There was a time where it was very chill.
Because people were scared. And then when they watched me, that's what I'm saying. Like Conor McGregor, he copies my model and mixed it with Floyd. I don't know how to act like Floyd and be all money guy, because I grew up broke, and we just don't act that way. I don't want to act like a douche like that. I mean, like if I had this understandings, maybe I would have approached it differently. But I never put on an act. I was legitimately pissed off.
Yeah.
And I've legitimate for reasons. And when I never stepped out of line on anybody. I never do. I'm like, these guys start running their mouth at me, and they say the wrong shit, and then I call them, and I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, and I worked harder than you, and that's the thing too. I make 170 pounds. Like, you got Alvarez fighting McGregor. He's small. He's shorter than McGregor. He should fight at 45. But you know why he doesn't do that? Because he'd have to do the diets I do. He'd have to do put in the miles I do. I put in miles. I put in rounds. I'm on the mat doing jiu-jitsu. These guys don't have black belts. If they do, they don't have a real boxing background. McGregor don't have no black belt in jiu-jitsu. He just learned jiu-jitsu before this last fight. And then
wow.
Yeah, well, I mean,
watching YouTube videos.
Right. It's Googling.
Yeah, I mean, he just it's a very serious thing getting a purple belt or a blue belt under Cesar Gracie back in 2004, 5, 6, all that stuff. There's the only people that were getting belts, I was one of the first American black belts under a Gracie or something like that. Back, way back. Yeah, I've had my black belt for a long time. And it's a big deal. I mean, it's not I haven't given anybody any belts. You know what I mean? And who are these, these people passing around belts? I'm like, go win a competition with that belt. Let's see how you do. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? It takes a long time to learn jiu-jitsu. And then these guys don't want to invest in that. And the ones that have, they're not going to go and do boxing, traditional. They're going to do kickboxing, and that's just going to be enough for them. And then they want to go home to their nice wife and nice life, and they've got a whole bunch of other stuff to worry about. I'm over here, miles, jiu-jitsu, pro boxing, kickboxing, and judo. And sambo, and I'm doing all of it, taking all of it into consideration, and always have.
What about jump rope?
As soon as it was there for me, I'm actually pretty good with the jump rope.
How important is the jump rope? Because you keep hearing about more and more.
Yeah, jump rope is a really solid tool. I think that more people should invest in the jump rope, and a lot of old.
So if you don't know how to do it, it looks gay as fuck. I was a kid who didn't know how to do it.
Yeah, I'll get down on a jump rope.
What about Kovalev Ward? What'd you think?
I thought. I knew what I was looking at in that fight. I didn't get to watch the whole fight. I've been here in New York, running around, freezing my ass off every time I go outside. I go inside my Wi-Fi.
How do you deal with this? As soon as I see him on the street,
I've been freaking out over this. Yeah, freezing. I'm like, dude, my hands are still cold, and I feel like my brain is cold on the inside of my head.
Right.
It just doesn't warm up. So,
well, you only got a hoodie on too.
Yeah.
You got
Well, I have 3 jackets on.
Okay, all right.
Okay, for your
But didn't you train with Andre, or was that a rumor?
No, yeah, I started sparring him. I met him. I walked into the gym, CYC boxing gym. It was like what do you call it? Like a kids center or something like that, where they had boxing there. And I go in there and I'm looking for some sparring. Caesar Gracie brings me in there to get me some real sparring with some guys that had some real boxing. And I met Andre Ward, and I was like, and he's 17. I'm like 18, and I'm going like, yo, I do a little MMA. Maybe we could help each other out and be in boxing, this and that. And he's like, looks at me like, okay. He's like, yeah, it's a lot of hard work though. I'm like, okay. I was like, I thought I was starting a conversation. It's a lot of hard. I'm like, okay, I get it. I see how it is. So then I'm like, maybe a year or two later, I sparred Christian Cruz and a couple pros like in that gym, and then he walks in. I think he was sparring Chris that day, and then they let me come in after Chris.
Okay. And
then I just ran across the ring and started throwing hard shots at him. And he moved around. He was cautious. He's 17 years old, and he was like the best boxer there was at that age, ready to, make the Olympic team and all this stuff. And so from then on, I had random sparring with him throughout the years. They'd call me every time they would find a southpaw. They'd call me in. I'd come in. I wouldn't, I would not show up. And that was a fucked up thing too, because they would put little tricks on me. I think I'm coming the next day, then they wouldn't call me, and then they'd call me when I'm not expecting it.
Eric, I'm not interrupting him. That's our music that says that the show's ending. Yeah. But I'm not interrupting Nick Diaz.
I thought that's what it was.
I'm not interrupting him.
By the way, Nick Diaz is my new favorite fighter.
Oh, right on.
That's some shit, man.
It was a pleasure.
I wanted to know if you got to punch Andre Ward.
No, but what I'm saying is I put in some pretty good days with Andre. I mean, like.
And he hits hard.
Oh, that's the most important sparring I've had. I've sparred a lot of pros. I've had a lot of different, but the MMA scene, they've barely like brushing the surface of that understanding, and it's because of McGregor. I've been telling him all this whole time. Now McGregor copies my brother, and then now he's getting the credit for it.
Nick, what do you got to plug? We got to get out of here for real.
Follow me on Instagram, Nick Diaz 209.
Okay.
Twitter, same thing.
Come back and see us. Mike Calta, thanks for coming by.
Thank you, buddy. I had a great time.
You good?
I'm great.
All right. Theo Von, where are you going to be?
I'll be in Palm Beach Improv December 9th through 11th, and just a pleasure to meet you, man. Dude. Your determination is admirable.
Yeah, thanks for coming up, Nick.
Yeah, Jamey Jasta from Hatebreed. What do you got?
Yeah, check out my podcast on gasdigitalnetwork.com. Sign up, use the code Jasta, and you'll save 15%. And vote for us, Best Live Band at the Revolver Music Awards. Give us a vote over at revolvermag.com. And thanks for having me back on, Opie. Good luck with the show.
Jamey, always. E-Rock, we good?
The new podcast from last week, I forgot who's on it. And a new one this Thursday.
All right.
Opie Radio, subscribe.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Thanks to these guys. This was a great show. A lot of fun. See you soon. Bye.
Thanks.